Hello and welcome back to Dial H for Heroclix. I'm your host, Kalder and Ian. This episode is going to be our Collector's Trove set review, episode 551. Howdy, howdy, let's get rowdy.
Do you really wanna click save?
Leadership,
Roll a 6, make a move extreme.
token up,
Taking action from your team. I go straight to your start, hypersonic speed.
roll a 5,
Getting brave, hitting blades, claws, fangs.
KO,
Stick and move, click a few just to hit a stop. Need a 3 CCE on a flurry close.
tear your dials apart.
Once the timer starts, do you really wanna click save? What's going up must come down. Do you really wanna click save? Baby, you gotta find the word to soon become. You're the best, the judge is wrong, but you mastermind the damage on. Roll your dice for initiative, son.
Dial H for Heroclix is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock every day, including all the latest Heroclix singles and sealed products. Make sure you check them out at CoolStuffInc.com. Use code DIAL5, DIAL5, for 5% off your Cool Stuff Inc. order. And you can go to shop.wizkids.com. Use code DIALH10 for 10% off your order over there. Not available with certain promos, pre-orders, or iconics. Joining me like always in the studio is Ian. What's going on, Ian?
Oh, it's Troven time.
Perfect. Cool. Let's go. Collector's the 001. Obviously, he is the main character of the set. It's Collector's Trove, and he do be the collector. He's pretty simple. He's a full dial of phasing, full dial of toughness, and then he alternates between TK Prob and then Incap and Outwit. He's 75 points for some very mediocre stacks. He has 6 range, 3 targets. But I love this first trait. So at the beginning of the game, the collector modifies his combat values +1 this game for each type of non-character game element on an opponent's force and sideline other than standard terrain markers. And it kind of has a little example, a list here of like equipment, mystery cards, non-standard terrain markers, so ones that like cost points, one-shots, and tarot cards are examples of qualifying game elements. So this dude could just be like, instead of being a 6, 10, 17, 1, he's probably very easily being at least an 8, 12, 19, 3, if not a 9, 13, 19, 20 for 4. Which
And
is really
9
cool.
range, triple target.
And yeah, 9 range. So
Yeah.
I really like this. I think it's really fun. I think it's really cute design. And obviously you could give him like a motorcycle or something. But yeah, he has that high point cost in like kind of stuffed into that trait. But I think he's a really cool figure. I think it's a really unique design.
It is
and I think it's
cool.
really fun.
It's a lot of fun for a 001. 75 points is a bit steep with just toughness, but yeah, no, I get down with it, man. Next up, the Iron Man Sentry, which is 002. This is crazy that this is 20 points
I know,
for 5
right?
clicks. He's got a move special, which is Force Blast. Force Blast is free, but only to target an equipped character. And he's a flyer with enhancement. So 3 clicks of toughness, 2 clicks of regen. Like 5 clicks for 20 points. I mean, I know we're in a different era, but like the old head in me sees this and it's like, how is this not on every team again? No, this is definitely a figure that I think has like pulp viability. I think it'd also be a lot of fun to play in mass. You know, they're just all enhancing each other.
It's pretty fun. Yeah.
You find that equipped character too, like you throw some Green Lantern team ability on your team. You cart like 3 of these guys over and you just force blast,
Force blast and nuke somebody into the ground.
That sounds like a lot of fun. If there was a way to like prevent damage reduction, I'm sure there is.
Kind of the old school like Leech when they would do that with like Leech and Leapfrog,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
That's
that'd be
legit.
hilarious.
That's awesome. And then, you know, again, like 5 clicks isn't nothing. Like you have to dedicate some time to KOing these guys.
5 clicks for 20 points with toughness is just like, really, I can't one-shot a 20-point piece is kind of how that feels in like Sealed and other games. So it's like, that's just annoying enough to be like, dang, really good for 20 points.
But yeah, super cool figure.
The Kree Accuser is 25 points with 4 clicks, sidestep, enhancement, which is super nice. They have a trait, 1,000 Years of Kree Vengeance. At the beginning of the game, choose a keyword for all characters with this trait. Unique modifier, friendly characters with the Kree keyword modify their attacking damage +1 when attacking a character with that keyword. So really, they're like an 11 for 3 when they're attacking somebody with a chosen keyword. Pretty good. And then Kree Tech, they just have ESD and toughness their entire dial. Another really simple, I'll say PD, which is really solid. So another really good generic to like pull in sealed or build around. I know a lot of people like building around Kree. I love building around the soldier keyword. So I know I'll throw a couple of these guys on a team. But they're simple enough to where they're really fun. They get +1 stats or +1 attack and damage. And yeah, 25-point enhancement, sidestep, precision strike, 5 range with PD. They're pretty just solid little generic that can set up a little firing line.
I just don't have any attachment to the Kree. I think like Captain Marvel is cool.
I don't necessarily care for the Kree either, but like around the Avengers Infinity time and the Captain Marvel movie kind of came out, like Kree was just like kind of a keyword I would look at, and it's kind of a fun keyword to mess around with. But
if you go back further with like the Galactic Guardians and like Chaos War with like the rare Captain Marvel. Marvel. The uncommon one who's super cool.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. The Quiet Council.
Don't really know the Quiet Council at all. I don't
know if he's like an enemy of Captain Marvel, but I kind of just assumed.
Sure.
But then there was like Genesis. I think Genesis was like the alternate version of Captain Marvel. That sound right?
Same dude, or
he was like black and white.
Yeah. I know in like Supernova it was like him, Genesis, and then he was Captain Marvel for the REV stuff.
I don't know anything about this character if
Marvel
that's not
Cosmic,
apparent.
I'm not.
But I think he's really cool, much like most of the Cosmic things. I don't know a lot of their stories, but I'm like, yo, sick.
They are sick.
The Kree, not particularly one of them. Sorry, guys.
Rip. Kree Accuser's great, though.
But baby Groot, just think baby back ribs right here. No, he's a Guardians team ability, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic, and Pirate keyword. Pirate keyword gets me going.
I like seeing it. Yeah.
Do love it. He's got Scampering Underfoot as a trait, which is free, move up to 1 square. If 3 or more friendly characters have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, he may move 3 squares, or up to 3 squares instead. So he's a plasticity poison piece with shape change. I love poison. Poison's a power that, if I can build around it, I really enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun to just annoy people. But he's, not got a whole lot going on. 5 clicks of life. Powers don't really change. You get some exploit mid-dial. But yeah, this also doesn't play into, like, the baby Groot shifting focus.
Yeah.
But he's the same cost.
Project. Oh, is he? Oh.
Yeah, so, I don't know. This guy is
interesting.
Pretty standard baby Groot. He seems like, he could be annoying. Maybe he makes the Guardians roster, but as we go down, that might not be the case because there's a lot of really good Guardians in this set that I'm excited for.
There's a lot of good Guardians, and there's a lot of split lines that kind of have me questioning a lot. So
this is insane.
A lot of these Guardians are kind of this Old West theme, which that I love. And then they're really not the run and gun stuff you would expect out of an old western-y or space cowboy style that they are seemingly based off of. And that's kind of how old Star Sheriff Rocket Raccoon here is. So Rocket is like Guardians PD, which is really cool. He's 60 or 35 points. It's like at 35 points, he's an 8-11, 18-3 running shot, toughness, incapacitate, leadership, right? But then you pay 60 points. His speed goes down by 1, and then he has sidestep instead of running shot.
And it's only 2 clicks.
And it's only 2 more clicks for 25 points with a worse speed power, for at least...
For that kind of character.
For that kind of character, yeah. So I don't know. It seems just bad. It just seems like straight up worse. I don't know. I don't like useless high point lines, and this one feels really weird and really bad, and I don't know. But he has a trait, Star Sheriff, friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword have PD, which is really good. If 3 or more friendly characters have Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, when they use PD, they can use improved targeting Norse characters.
That's so good.
It's really strong, and it's like, I wish there was an argument for the top line.
There isn't.
There just isn't. And it's like, with a trait like this, when you want to spam as many Guardians as possible on the team, it is cool that his lower line is technically better than his top line. But I don't love seeing
it didn't need to exist.
Useless
could have
top
just
line.
Been a 35-point figure.
Yeah, it just feels like, why are those 2 clicks even printed? He's really cool. I like him. I'll play him on a Guardians team. But again, there's just something kind of flawed about his point values here. That's just kind of sad to see.
He's also a marksman, so free trick arrows. I actually really like this Rocket. A cheap leadership, a cheap flyer, a good selection of keywords in marksman, ruler, animal, obviously Guardians. If you can find a way to get those 3 useful Guardians, like having 3 PD that see through people, like parking behind somebody, That is, like, this figure's good.
And it is really cool that it's not
a
like
really
if
good
he's on
common.
a Guardians of the Galaxy theme team. It's just if there are 3 or more Guardians. So that's really neat.
Up next is Cosmo, who's only got the one line, so no worries on a tangent there. But he's got the Guardians team ability, PD team ability as well. And then he is a 4-click dial. He's some TK enhancement, mind control, super senses. Pretty run-of-the-mill for our boy Cosmo. But he does have a trait of nowhere head of security. Friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword have Safeguard Outwit. That's fantastic. No requirement, just they have it. Kind of like the old ATA from the like Hammer of Thor era. Gave them some protected outwit.
Okay.
I used to run a Guardians team back before I knew who they were at all. Back when Star-Lord was like a different character than what he is now. You know, wearing like the black and red vest and the helmet.
I guess this to me reminds me of like the AI trait, the before Guardians trait, you know?
Oh,
Where
yeah,
if they
yeah.
were on a Guardians team, they had protected outwit, but if they weren't, they had +1 defense.
That might have also been
Might have just been a
referential
reference to that,
the ATA.
yeah.
But that ATA was really solid. I think it was only like 4 points a person. I loved playing the ASM
cheap.
Groot. So, yeah, the Guardians have a special place in my heart. Not so much the MCU ones, but like the more of
comic-
these. These
comic
ones I
Guardians,
like
yeah.
more. But they also have the modifier. This is a unique modifier. If 3 or more friendly characters have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, they modify their defense +1. So I think Cosmo is probably a shoe-in if you are going for
gotta
that
have
Guardians
it.
route. Like, protected outwit is just so nice.
It is. I love 20 points with sidestep enhancement. Oh boy, yippee. The shield agent is one of the first double agents we see in the set where he has a half other side of his dial that it can be triggered through some random or some predetermined game event here. So he has a trait called Hail Hydra. Once per game for all friendly characters with this trait, at the beginning of your turn, you may turn all friendly character 007 shield agents to click 6. If you do, after resolutions, you may make one of them may make a close or range attack. So during your choice, you can turn all these shield agents into Hydra agents. So they're a really good sidestep enhancement piece, but really like weak 16 defense ESD, only a 9 attack, only a 1 damage, but like really good again for just like getting an absolute cannon off, especially with the shield TA and the Hydra TA. So I really love that for a generic. And then at any point in time in the game, whenever it shifts or you decide to, and you just want to start locking people down and then turn into a more close combat style team, you can go Hail Hydra, like a Winter Soldier-esque, all the shield agents just flip and now they're Hydra agents, and then their plasticity, poison, combat reflexes, and power, which is really good. And I believe it does say specifically click 6, so if they were like on click 4, they wouldn't turn to then click 9, like the matching click number or whatever, so you wouldn't be able to be like, okay, now they all have Pulse Wave. But it's really sick. They all, I guess one of them gets to make a closer range attack, which is, again, really solid. The little 10 for 2 there, maybe when they get close.
10 for 5, possibly?
Potential 10 for 5. Yeah.
Okay,
Very
so
true.
strategy
The
here
shield agent.
is first, find a map with an elevator on it, right?
Okay.
The next step
Oh.
is to trick a Captain
Okay.
America into
Okay.
walking in there. And then step 3, there's question marks. Step 4, they're all dead.
They're all dead. yeah.
Captain
no,
America dove out of the elevator.
it jumps out. No, I love this piece, though. I think it's super fun. It's super thematic. I love the Hail Hydra aspect of, like, haha, we were never on your side. I also just love that they're like a sidestep enhancement with both Hydra and Shield TA. That's just really good. So I love this piece. Very thematic. Really cool. I also like that they're like, what would you call it? They don't have like a face, right? They're wearing like a helmet. That's
Sure.
kinda
So it's
cute
not
for a
just
generic.
guy.
Yeah, it's not just guy. It could be all sorts of different guy. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, could be anyone under that mask.
Could even be a boat.
Could be a boat.
Yeah.
You don't know.
what I
Bodie
thought.
McBoatface.
Real possibility.
Real possibility. Memes to reality. Next up, Swarm of Ants. You talk to ants. That's the first thing that this ant is saying on his trait here. It's a 10-point animal
Kang
spy.
says, right?
Is it?
You talk to ants, right? In Quantum Mania, doesn't he go like, I'm
I've
Kang.
like blocked that
I
movie
do.
out
Very fair.
of my mind.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I think that's from that. Go
It's
ahead.
probably fair. Probably right. But again, like Ant-Man 3. Yeesh. So yeah, 10 points for 3 clicks of life. All of them are the same. 6, 9, 17, 1. Plasticity, poison, and power. Ignores characters on the movement. And he has, when an adjacent friendly character named Ant-Man or Wasp is moved or placed. Very good. After resolutions, you may place Swarm of Ants adjacent to them. Yeah, so an empower that you can just kind of pick up and put wherever. That's fantastic for 10 points. Animal keyword, spy, not so much, but animal keyword, very, very good. And then he also has swarming instincts, unique modifier. Adjacent friendly characters that share a keyword with swarm of ants modify attack +1. So this, assuming that you have that Ant-Man, which there may be one later in the set here. Even if you don't, just carrying this thing around, it is tiny size as well. Getting an empower that also gives you a +1 attack for 10 points. I mean, if this was an equipment, now I know it's not the same thing, people would be all over it. You can KO this. It's easier to do that, but man, I super dig this. I think that this is going to be a good point filler. I think it makes animal even better.
Yeah.
A big thing that animal keyword lacks, I've noticed in my building, is perplex. The goose bystander kind of fills that void as well. That's later in the set. Whoops.
We'll get there. We'll get there. You're skipping.
But yeah, it's I think a really good addition to that keyword.
The 009 Thieves Guild member brings back the expendable goon trait, which is pretty fun. So he's 50 or 15. He's a leap, climb, precision strike, perplex, combat reflexes, or for his 15-point line, he's a stealth blades shape change. So his expendable goon trait is when he would be KO'd by an opposing character. You roll a d6 on a 1 through 3. You remove all equipment equipped to the opposing character that KO'd Thieves Guild member from the game. So that's the whole not bringing them back to life. And then on 4 through 6, it's generate a character with the expendable goon trait on its 15-point starting line adjacent to a friendly character, which most expendable goons have. So pretty cute, pretty fun. The fact that he just gets to remove equipment whenever he's KO'd by somebody is pretty decent for a little 15-point piece. He's nothing crazy, He's just an expendable goon. This is all right.
I think it's really funny that there's a world where when he dies, he pulls off his trench coat and he was a polar bear the whole time.
Oh, that is pretty funny. Yeah.
You messed with the wrong guild member. The Thieves Guild member.
Shout out.
Next up, White Widow. Aim, shield, thunderbolts, assassin, marksman, martial artist, spy. So she can have the trick arrows for free. Always note that. She has red room training as a trait, which is sidestep. Always good. Once per game, when an opposing character is KO'd, after resolutions, you may turn White Widow to click number 7. So she's 60 points, and she starts off as a 7-10, 19-1 with stealth, energy explosion, defend, and outwit. She's a 5-range dual target. And she stays that way. The only thing that really changes is her defense value, and then she switches to Perplex on click 3. But at any point, when an opposing character is KO'd, you may turn her to her second line, which is Running Shot, Blades, Willpower, and Range Combat Expert. And that's 6'11", 17-2. And that, again, is click 7, so it doesn't mirror the click she's on, the agent you had mentioned. I'll be honest, I don't love this one. This one's... I just look at her, I was like, I think this figure is going to die.
Yeah.
And you have to KO something to activate her. It's like, I want her to be the thing, KOing them.
Fair enough. Very fair.
The sidestep's nice, 19 defend is nice, but
her cost
she was
is so
50?
high because she has a 19 defend, though. I feel like that's why she's 60. A 19 defend, you can't just be handing that stuff out.
No, you really can't.
And so, yeah.
I don't know. I'm also just, again, not super attached to this character, so... No brownie points there.
It's okay.
Yeah, switching to a 17 willpower, too. It's like, all right, I'm going to switch to make my attack, and then I'm getting trucked.
It's a little tough because it does switch on an opponent's turn, so it's a little scary to switch into a 17 willpower.
No, it's when an opposing character is KO'd.
Oh, that's right.
So you set up the kill.
Yes, you do get to set up the kill.
And then you switch to this, but it's like...
And then this is kind of your follow-up idea.
I want to switch to her and then kill you, not kill something and then here she is.
Right,
which,
fair enough.
There's me being nitpicky, whatever. Harsh on White Widow.
I think the only thing I would have changed is gotten rid of the willpower and given her super senses because it's red room training. This is her going full assassin.
Oh, just
mode
a full red dial.
Full red dial would have been really cool. I would have liked that. That would have been really fun. Next up, the Kree soldier. Also, once again, he's this double agent mechanic, so he's a Kree, Skrull, soldier, or spy. He has the Skrulls team ability, which is really cool. So, a Skrull in disguise. Skrull infiltration. Once per game for all characters with this trait, when a friendly character with the Skrulls keyword uses shape change and fails, you may immediately turn all friendly 011 Kree soldiers to click number 5. So they go from a running shot, energy explosion, toughness, shape change. So they all have 50-50 shape change. To a 4-11-17-3. They are now a sidestep, precision strike, ESD, outwit. So instead of being these run and gun Kree soldiers, they are these poking at you, outwitty Skrull people. I do see that. Yeah, okay. They have 0 range. Interesting. I assume that will probably get changed to a 4 or something.
10.
Yeah, 10
They forgot the one.
Because, having running shot energy explosion with 0 range is hilarious. Wow. Yeah,
these guys look cool, though.
They do look... I really like this costume for a Kree soldier. It's really fun. This, like, Spartan helmet they have.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
really sick.
The logo on his chest kind of reminds me of the Toy Story, like, pizza place logo.
Yeah.
What's that called?
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet.
Yeah, this guy's got Pizza Planet on his chest,
fair.
which rocks.
But yeah, I guess
Scroll
they just needed
Pizza
an errata
Planet
to be like 5. Ooh.
I don't know.
You want to talk about the Pulp King here, Ian?
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. But yeah, Kree Soldier probably has 4 range.
I would
3
assume
clicks
it's
of
like
life at
4 or
25 is
3.
a hard sell, but...
Yeah.
Because, if you fail the shape change roll, it's like, I'm probably just killing you.
Well, then I guess they all would go to ESD, and so hopefully it's at range, and now you
but
just
the one
have a
that's being
19
targeted
defense?
is like, you're switching to KO clicks, buddy.
Fair enough.
You're dying.
Dang.
Oh, man. Boy, do I love Thanos, and I just love the classic costume of Thanos. Like, the kind of cheesier it looks, the more I get down with it.
Yeah.
The overly, like, technological or, like, just the less detail his costume has. Like, I'm a big fan of just, like, classic
this is like Thanos
spandex.
copter era Thanos type costume here. Real just spandex and his big old shoulder pad thing.
Yeah, whatever the heck that is.
I don't know, yeah.
Little bib.
Little
bib.
Thanos, you're gonna make a mess.
Yeah,
Little
can't
bib
be
Thanos.
eaten like that. No, the skull on his face, too, is also really
Sick.
cool. But he's got the Black Order keyword, Eternal, minions of Thanos, Cosmic Deity, Future, Past, Ruler. Pretty standard run-of-the-mill keywords we see on Thanos. He also has Astral Regulator as a trait, which is free. Choose a character on your sideline with the Cosmic or Deity keyword, and choose a standard power printed on their card. Thanos can use the chosen power until your next turn. That's amazing.
Really
it's fantastic. And then Reap, which we'll see later in the set as well, which is when Thanos KOs an opposing character of 30 points or less, score 10 victory points. The Butterfly. If this Reap trait is on anybody like really solid, just farming butterflies sounds fantastic. It's like, I'll take like 30 points, 40 points.
Good.
But he is 300 points or 150 points, 6 range, triple target, comes in with monster stats. It does not matter what they make the average attack value in Heroclix, Calder. I see that 20 on the defense, and I'm like,
Nothing.
I'm never getting touched.
Yeah,
You kidding
I
me?
know, right?
You cracking a 20?
It's so funny when it's like, I'm a 14 for whatever.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
you're not touching me.
No way. I got 20 defense. Yeah, that's a 2-0.
Yeah.
Normally it starts with a 1.
Not
no
happening.
way.
But finding somebody with Cosmic or Deity who has like super senses or shape change or some pulse wave, just different options, that's fantastic. I mean, just grabbing like Flurry too for when they get up close. Things like Steel Energy. So at the 300-point line, 10, 14, 20, 5, he's a colossal, hypersonic, precision strike, invincible outwit. All great things to see on a character of that point cost. If you decide to play him at 150, which, come on, dude.
What are you doing?
150?
What are
Why
you
is this
doing,
line
dog?
even here?
I know.
8, 12, 18, 4, running shot, energy explosion, impervious shape change. Honestly,
You
still
ain't
pretty
finding me on this
solid.
line.
But yeah,
Nuh-uh.
me on this line? Hilarious. Good joke. Not happening. Oh, you could play 2 at 150. Stop it. Don't do
even,
this.
dude. Don't
Pull
even.
up at 300.
Yeah.
That's 100 3 times. So that means that's like legit times 3. That's 100, bro.
That's facts. Didn't even have to use a calc for that one.
No.
Calc
No.
is short for calculator, by the way. Listener.
I'm calking.
Calking? Adaptoid is our last uncommon here.
Common.
Our last common, excuse me. We haven't seen...
Didn't have to calc that either.
No. Check it. Keep the stats. 013, aim, intelligentsia, robot, and spy. I don't think we've gotten a generic adaptoid since the Captain
America,
set.
yeah.
So I'm happy to
And
see
those
these
were
guys back.
so overcosted. Oh my god.
Yes, they were. I love this one. He's doing this weird face touch handout, like he's like a monster. Like, oh, what am I? I'm a blank artist inspiration drawing doll. What am I?
I'm stealing you.
I'm nothing. Yeah. And so he has replication initiated. When Adaptoid KOs an opposing character, instead of removing that character from the game, you may turn that character to any click and place it on Adaptoid's card. That character is still scored. / Adaptoid can use the standard powers displayed on that dial of the last character placed on their card. So you would keep placing them. So they're a very simple dial. They're a charge, precision strike, 17 toughness, 2 damage with shape change. So getting kills with this guy, gotta be pretty hard. Their next click on click 2, they just have sidestep with shape change, and then the rest of their dial is completely blank with shape change. They have 3 range, they're 25 points. I really think they're really cool. They're really quirky.
So cool.
They go up to an 11 for 3 down dial, which is really fun. They're kind of like, are they like a great generic? No, they're really not that great, but it's a really fun ability, and I really want to try to pull it off.
I want to maximize how, like, what are the best ways to give this guy powers to get KOs?
100%.
Is there a world where I'm like equipping him with stuff potentially to try and make this work?
God.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Give
there
him
is.
Bucky's arm, just make him 11 for 3 at least. That's the first thing that comes to mind since he has charge. But yeah, like I think they're
characters
really fun.
that can hand out powers. I think is the biggest way. Like this is so old, but immediately I just think of stuff like the Teen Titans Gizmo, who could break an object and then hand out like poison and stuff to Astral Stranges. But there's probably something in modern I'm forgetting about that does hand out powers. Penguin. Oh, baby. Here's your hat. Here's your umbrella. You're the penguin now. Penguin adaptoid? Okay, yeah, we're going to get cooking on that one.
It'd be so much fun.
Monica Rappaccini?
Rapinci?
This is not Rapinci.
Rappaccini? Yeah.
Monica Frappuccino,
like
AIM, Hammer, Modoc's 11, Ruler, Scientist, 45 points, 5 clicks of life, Advanced Idea Mechanics, AIM. Ooh. Is that what it stands for?
Yes.
Advanced Idea Mechanics?
Yeah.
Sounds like, dude,
don't say you didn't know that's what AIM stood for.
Did not.
Dude, that's, 100% that's what AIM stands for.
I'm outing myself.
That's wild.
I've
never didn't know that.
I've never read like anything with AIM in it either. Okay.
What do you think SHIELD stands for?
If you said it, I would know it, but I don't.
Strategic, Homeland, Intervention. I forget what the E stands for. Logistics Division.
Oh, and you're calling me.
I forgot what the E stood for. I think someone will know what the E stands for.
Some hater.
Enforcement,
Ian.
Probably. I think it's Strategic, Homeland,
SHI is some hater.
Enforcement,
Ian.
Logistics Division.
ELD is.
And there's a different SHIELD stands for something different in both the comics and in like the MCU as well.
Yeah.
But AIM is always Advanced Idea Mechanics. Anyways,
I just don't. That's so dumb. Advanced Idea Mechanics. If somebody said like, "Yeah, I got an acronym for us," and it was that, I'd be like, "You need to come up with a new idea."
You have to tell Stanley back in 1960 something.
Yeah, digging up the grave tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like AIM. All right, put the dirt back on.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Anyways,
what do you think MODOK stands for?
I know this one, actually.
You should. Mental organism designed only for killing.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. They said that in the movie.
I believe so, yeah.
But again, largely blocked that one out. I like MODOK too. But honestly, I don't know a lot about AIM there. I'm sorry. I know this is kind of like your wheelhouse. You know,
they're like Captain
ask
America.
Ask me some Batman stuff.
They're Captain America, Iron Man villains. I know. Like,
give me a batcronym.
A batcronym? Oh, jeez.
No, we're moving on. I don't even... I'll come up with one later. Friendly characters with the AIM keyword within range can use poison and have safeguard poison. I love that. That rocks. Again, poison is a super fun power, and just handing it out, that's awesome. You are being drafted is her other trait, which is power. If an opposing character was KO'd since your last turn, generate a 013 adaptoid on click 1. Maybe this is our girl. Give all the adaptoids poison? Hey?
Ooh.
After resolutions, you may choose an opposing character that was added to your opponent's KO area since your last turn. And then turn that character to any click and place it on the generated adaptoids card. Whoa!
So he just starts with some power. Oh! That is really good.
Yo, I really like this.
Okay.
I did not give this piece a fair shake on my look through. But yeah, stealth, precision strike, mastermind, and leadership. That's always nice. The dial later clicks to some mid-dial mind control, and then incapacitates, some outwit, gets perplexed, and then a random click of phasing, super senses.
That, it's like an escape click or something. Escape pod go, super senses phasing, I'm out of here.
So I need to find a way to KO stuff so I can power up my adaptoids, but just giving them poison, and I get to generate these and then poison. No, I super like this. Yeah, this is really cool.
Fun.
Wow, this is I just couldn't read the name. I was like, yeah, whatever, uncommon, wrote her off. Here's me going, shouldn't have done that. This piece rocks.
Here we are.
Okay, moving on.
Iron Man. Fart sound effect editing called. Anyway. 75 points. He's a sidestep energy explosion, invincible outwit piece. He is really bad.
Energy explosion?
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Stop.
Flight,
Stop
fine
doing
range.
this, whiz kids.
It's so awful. Drones outside. Now, leadership, it succeeds on a 4 through 6. If an opposing characters are equipped, if any opposing characters are equipped, when Iron Man uses it and succeeds after resolutions, you may generate a 002 Iron Man drone, Iron Man sentry on click 1.
I don't hate that. I
don't hate that. I like that
cool.
he makes them. They are really good, obviously. Race for the creation constellation. Oh, that's kind of cute. Creation constellation. That's kind of fun. Knockback is another trait. When Iron Man knocks back an opposing character and that character is dealt knockback damage, after resolutions, you unequip their equipment. I feel like that kind of
I'll
goes
hang with the
against
drones.
what the drones do.
I'm hanging with the
you
drones.
get rid of their equipment, which means I don't get a free knock them back with the drones, though. I guess this is good separate from the drones. Like, yeah, this is a good thing to be able to be like, yeah, I've unequipped you by knocking you back, but then I get unlimited knockback if they stay equipped with the drones.
This is also not free.
True, it's just when he makes an attack with using just, I guess, whatever, and then knocking somebody back. Yeah, the outwit is solid. A little sidestep outwit's not bad. In sealed, I like a 40-point outwit. No
And a
movement.
flyer.
No movement is tough. Yeah, I don't know. This dude's bad. He's kind of bad.
The split line, again, like 35 points.
He also has the Avengers keyword. He doesn't have the Avengers team ability, at least on HC units. That seems strange. That seems odd.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, honestly,
No, this is a bad Iron Man.
you know, if we ever wanted to have a little fun, it would be take a shot every time Iron Man gets energy explosion.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that would be fun.
No, I think you die.
I think it'd be brutal.
Liver failure.
Is he allowed to have another attack power is the question that we have. But
No,
yeah,
people just love giving him energy explosion.
disappointing on that front.
It's
All
tough.
right, this person was drafted 7th overall in the NBA as a center.
WNBA.
The WNBA, excuse me. Hollow the Accuser, real name Brittany Griner. No, I'm kidding. She is so tall, though. But these people, could play the post incredibly. Like, seriously, the sculpt size on this is ridiculous.
It's really, they're big.
Accuser Prime. When a friendly character with the Kree keyword is KO'd, after resolutions, remove all action tokens from Hollow the Accuser and heal her 1 click. So, you take out the smaller ones, she benefits from that. Hunting enemies of the Kree. Incapacitate. Free. Modify attack and damage +1, so similar to the trait we saw on the common before. Make a close attack, but only to target an opposing character with 2 actions. That's honestly pretty solid. This is a 10, 11, 18, 3, not giant size, standard size, 4 range. So the charge, special attack power, some invul, and some leadership. If you play her at 40, which I think the 60 line is better here, she gets toughness and close combat expert instead. I don't know. Again, like the Kree just don't super do it for me. But this is a solid piece that has like pretty good sustain. If you pull some other Kree pieces and sealed, and then like incapacitate on herself. It's a single target, which makes it like But the free make an attack against somebody with 2 actions.
I like that a lot.
You can set that up with other pieces and probably get some value from it.
And
So
she's like a 12 for 5 on her like 40-point line. I think this is a really fun piece. I think that's really cool.
She can hit hard. Oh man.
Oh boy, I just love
man.
talking about really cool space cowboys that cut me deep to the bone. Once again, we have another Guardian of the Galaxy with one of the worst split lines I've seen in my entire life. Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic, Marksman, Police, and Soldier. I love that Star-Lord got the Soldier keyword, my favorite keyword. Love to see it. He has the Quick Draw trait. When Star-Lord hits the range attack, if it was during your first action this turn, after resolutions, remove an action token from him. That's really cool. Man, I wish my shooty gun cowboy was better at it for more points. So at 25 points, he's a running shot, 11, 17, 3 with leadership and ESD and running shot, right? Or for 50 points, for double the cost, he has a 7 stealth, 10 nothing, 17 toughness, 2 damage leadership. It would be different if it's like you gain leadership or something top dial and he wasn't a leader down dial. But instead, he's just this stealthy toughness leadership
Doing
guy
nothing piece.
who does he's just nothing. It really hurts. Like, why on earth is this a split line, a straight up way worse version of that lower line? This is clearly a really cool run and gun cowboy Star-Lord. Why not make him that? This hurts. This like hurts my soul.
His Guardians trait is great too.
It is
like,
cool.
Just +1 speed is
Yeah.
fantastic,
Friendly
and it's friendly
Guardians,
characters.
just get-
So he himself
Yeah.
modifies his speed.
Very
So his
true.
running shot is actually more
He's a
valuable.
4. Yeah, it's true.
And then he gives
if
them
there are 3
willpower?
or more characters with Guardian's Keyword, they all get willpower, which is really cool. And I know they're doing like this thing where it's like, apparently if you just play a bunch of Guardians on the team, But that doesn't mean you have to make their top lines bad.
You could play, like, in what world are you not just playing 2 of this guy instead of 1 at
1,000,000%. I would rather play 2 of this guy. Are you kidding me? I love that he goes down to, like, more attack powers versus, like, I don't know, staying super high. I would like to see them, obviously, top dial, but it's cool. I guess the idea
kind of reveals himself.
Is that he reveals, like, cloak off and then bang, say hello to my little
big
friend.
iron.
Something like that. A little big iron on my hip. Where's Texas Red at? Where you at?
Where is he? It's got notches on his pistol, baby.
Exactly. Town of Alfreda, here we go. But, just disappointing split line for, like, cool run-and-gun cowboy Star-Lord. I wish this guy was a little more Sheriff Deadpool and not so much sitting in the outhouse, I guess, while the gunfight is happening. It's just really disappointing top line.
This is...
he's really cool. I just wish he could have been, like, played at higher points and cooler at higher points versus...
This might be the worst split line I think I've ever seen.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
I'd have to do a deep dive to prove that, but in recent memory, like, this is just... In what world is this 25 points? You're paying points to make him worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll continue on. I do, but yeah, to echo what Calder said, at 25 points, this guy's a beast, and he's marksman keyword. You can give him the trick arrows. A leadership at 25 is already fantastic. The additional stuff he does is amazing. If you're playing any Guardians at all, just giving willpower, incredible. Like, this piece rocks, but the split line is like... I don't know. It's like
gutted, dude.
Blindfolded and just cut the dial in half.
Yeah.
Right? Gamora, too. Another split line here, but this one makes sense. She's also a wild card, too.
Decent difference. But yeah.
I dig this a lot, actually. The Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity Watch, Assassin, Cosmic, and Martial Artist keywords. Guardians TA, the wild card TA as well. Silent yet battle-hungry, traded stealth and willpower. If Gamora occupies hindering terrain, once per turn she may reroll a single d6 she rolled. It's very good for the Powers Hunter dial. And also, if you were to give her the ultimate nullifier, anything that we can manipulate that with, I always think of that immediately. Fueled by combat, Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Gamora uses it and rolls a 1 or a 2, after resolutions, heal her 2 clicks. So her 50-point line, she's a Charge, Blades, Senses, and then Battle Fury. At the 25-point line, which I'm leaning more towards, she is a Sidestep, the Special Attack Power, which is just Blades, pretty much, because you're not going to heal her past her starting line. The Combat Reflexes, and then Exploit. So yeah, a wild card at 25 who has the Stealth Willpower, the Close Combat, or the Combat Reflexes up close. Like, she'll be harder to pick off, and at that point cost, like, that's fantastic. She also just ignores Elevated on movement, so you can get her in position. I honestly think this is a piece that could waste your opponent's time, like, quite a bit, and she has a good slew of keywords to work with. So yeah, this Gamora, I think, is a thumbs up, and one that potentially makes your Guardians roster.
Yeah. Next up, we have Mantis here, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Martial Artist. She has the Guardians of the Galaxy team ability. Love to see it. She is 50 or 25. It's, again, like, she has way more utility. Oh, what in the world? Hilarious. She has way more utility at 25. I would say she's way more utility at 50. But at 25, it's like, come on, it's 25-point probability control. Are you kidding me? Why wouldn't I play that? But if you choose to play her at 50, you gain 3 more clicks of life. So at least it's like an even amount of clicks you gain. She gets Mind Control Sidestep. So she always has Sidestep. She has triple target. I guess Mind Control, she has 0 range. So I guess Mind Control gives her a base 4 at least, right, when using it. And then she's like a close combat expert, Kung Fu Mind Control Sidestep Mantis top dial. That's all right. I feel like everybody's just going to gravitate forward to 25-point line, which is a Sidestep Precision Strike, Super Senses probability control line.
Yeah, but 2 probs for 50 as opposed to 1 50-point figure.
Yeah, I think I would always go for that. But a very cheap probability control for Guardians, which is super nice. Now, this is like one where it's like, yeah, I want to spam the lower line. I love a good 25. But also, at the very least, her 50-point line isn't straight up worse. It at least has like a different choice can be made.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Which is nice. But yeah,
I mean, especially in sealed, there's
weird
value
attacker.
there.
Yeah.
What's nice about the Guardians is with them all being like 25 points, it's going to be really easy to get those 3 Guardians.
Them, yeah.
And then, referencing like the Christmas box set, like there's also like 25-point Nebula. There's some fun stuff in there. The young Peter Quill, the 30-point Drax, who like just kind of doesn't die. Yeah, Cosmo, who gives out actions, and Craiglin, who maybe comes back because he gets an equipment later in the set. Yeah. And just cart him around, give him 19.
That is true, he does.
Kingpin Prime, hello. He loves these guys. Kingpin Prime loves his Guardians. Nebula is up next. Guardians of the Galaxy, Minions of Thanos, Assassin, Pirate, and Robot. Another split dial, so no split line here. But yeah, lots of that in this set as well. She's got a Change of Heart trait, which is once per game. When another friendly character is damaged by an attack, after resolutions, you may turn Nebula to click number 7, Protected Pulse Wave. She also has Finding My Family, which is Empower, Support, and the Guardians TA. So it looks like she starts off as Evil Nebula with some Charge, Quake, Invuln, and Close Combat Expert. For range, she clicks down to Running Shot, Pulse Wave, Toughness, and RCE. So she's a formidable attacker. And then when she has her little Change of Heart, she goes on to Sidestep with 9 movement, like really high mobility for Nebula here. A 10 blank, 18 defend, which and then 3 damage with that Empower, Support, Guardians.
Yeah.
This piece is like just very okay to me.
It's very iffy. I love the flavor of it. It's very Guardians of the Galaxy
fantastic.
Volume 2. She becomes like a member of the Guardians. That's really cute. I do like that she changes on your opponent's turn because then she gives out an 18 defend. That's kind of cool, but then like dropping all reducers is a little tough, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of after someone's taken damage, right? So then you can support them back up. You instantly get a medic. She can sidestep around to get by them. Like, is it as good as like an attacker? But maybe at that point in the game, it's like she's gotten a few attacks off. Someone's taken some damage. Now I got to go heal mode. And then she can also go back to an attacker. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's a little wonky, but I do like it.
Yeah, I'm also like a Nebula, another character I'm just kind of like, whatever on. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Next up, Wasp here. She has the Avengers team ability and the Shield team ability. She's
Love that.
55 or 30 points. So there's an argument, I would say, for the 55-point line, but 25 more points seems a bit
I like
much.
the 55 line.
It's cool. It is cool. So she has a special attack power as her only ability. Precision Strike. When Wasp damages an opposing character, after resolutions, give that character an action token. That's her little stingers. So she's either a 30-point sidestep with that special attack, super sense of shape change, or for 25 more points, you get 3 more clicks of life, and she is a hypersonic speed with leadership as opposed to shape change and sidestep. So
I like that
better.
way more.
That actually is really good. Yeah, she's a little double target
I think
with
this
it.
is like high dial over low dial like every time for me.
Yeah, it's fair.
I think
yeah, she's fun. Interesting keywords: Avengers, Shield, Celebrity, Detective, Scientist, Spy. I feel like I never see Detective on Wasp. I'm curious what she's detecting when she's going around, what she's doing. But pretty fun, pretty good.
My phone is buzzing. I've got a call from Commissioner Gordon. Yeah, she's a detective.
Detective? She's working
cross-universe
with
detective.
Gordon.
Yeah, dude, did you not hear her phone buzz? It might be a clue. It might be.
What's Gambit do, Ian?
What's Gambit do? Well, he's not detecting anything. He's a wild card and X-Men team ability, not or. Marauder's keyword. You know that keyword has just never really had enough legs to stand on.
If you've ever played
But
a Marauder's
cool.
theme team, please let me know, because I don't think you exist.
There was that really cool Sinister and Chaos War who worked with Marauders,
okay.
and I was always like, man, that'd be awesome. But there was like
Then
never
you
any Marauders.
did it. Yep.
X-Men keyword, marksman's free trick arrows, martial artist, and spy. He's got a trait which is I'm a thief when all else fails, and all else failed. When Gambit hits, you may choose that he deals a maximum of 1 damage to each hit character. If you do, unequip each hit character. He also has Black Sheep of the Thieves Guild. When Gambit attacks, opposing characters with the Assassin or Spy keyword can't use Shape Change or Super Senses.
Ooh.
He's improved targeting hindering, which is always nice. 45 points. Sidestep, Energy Explosion, Toughness, and Range Combat Expert. Seems like Gambit. I think there's other versions of Gambit that I'd reach for before this one. The unequipping stuff is like all right.
Kind of feels weird that he's in this set. I get that he's like the Thieves Guild counterpart.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, what are you doing here, Gambit? There aren't any X-Men in this set. I guess there's one other X person.
Yeah.
But
This is another figure
seems
that
kinda out of
just
place.
he's I like Gambit as a character a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Just very run of the mill.
Iron Man. Man, I was just thinking to myself, I really wish there was an Iron Man with Energy Explosion in this set.
You want to know what? I was thinking what would pair with that great is Running Shot.
Oh,
Running
no
Shot.
way. That's genius.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Very transformative.
And, you might as well have Outwit. Iron Man's such a smart guy. He better
but
have
hold on.
Outwit. Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
Calder, when I was thinking about all of this,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been thinking about this for 20 years now, I was thinking the point cost of him should be just like ridiculous. It should be absurd. I am
way higher
sorry.
than it ever is.
I don't actually. You know what? I don't know if I am sorry.
Fair enough.
I feel bad for Iron Man fans, is what I'll say, and War Machine fans. Last Black Panther.
By proxy, dude. By proxy, War Machine kind of gets done dirty a lot, but then he gets like one or two, just like, whoa, that's a banger.
Yeah,
I feel like War Machine has more. He gets made so much less than Iron Man, but then it's like, oh no, but that one's kind of a banger. Mm-hmm. But why don't you give him Indom back when that was the thing?
And Iron Man's, that he did get that treatment. Iron Man's bangers are like Sicarian Iron Man.
Correct. And nothing else.
Honestly, like with I really
Demon Armor.
I have to 50-50 this. The Earth X Iron Man? No?
Yeah. No, yeah. That's
it is Earth X? It is?
One,
okay. The super rare one.
The one that
he
makes
was cool.
Bystanders?
Yeah, like the Da Vinci Iron Man, right? Isn't that what it's like or copying? Because he like makes all the designs. Kind of looks like it. He's like Philosopher Iron Man.
No, he's just trapped in Stark Tower. He's like locked himself in Stark Industries Tower. He's not really necessarily Da Vinci, I guess.
Okay, well,
yeah.
My bad.
Anyways, rare Iron Man 023A.
But neither of those are Iron Man. Sorry, that was the whole point of it. Like that's not Iron Man.
Oh, sure, it's an alternate universe.
Alternate
universe Iron Man. Yeah, and then both are just alternate universe. Never a just normal Iron Man is like a baller. But he does have running shot energy explosion, thank goodness. Now this Iron Man not having Avengers team ability is cool because this is very much a before the Avengers. It's Stark Industries armor and scientist, and he's a trait called Armor Wars. So I do like that thematic wise. That's really cool. This is the Silver Centurion armor, which is cool. It's like
love
one of the
this
coolest
armor,
suits,
man.
literally
It really
ever.
is.
And so Armor Wars, if Iron Man occupies or is adjacent to a non-debris terrain marker, opposing lines of fire can be drawn to him. That's really good. When Iron Man attacks one or more characters that share a keyword with him, modifies attack and damage +1. Again, though, it's really just Armor, Scientist, Stark Industries, so very limited keywords. But it's, again, Armor Wars, so it's thematic, which is fun. And then he has second trait, Back to the Drawing Board. When
That's a good suggestion. Back to the drawing board?
Yeah. He should. He should go back to the drawing board. When Iron Man
self-referential Iron Man. I'm sorry.
When Iron Man is KO'd, you may generate a 023B Iron Man from your sideline on his red starting line of 3 squares of your starting area. So he turns into the Prime, which is cool. On his last 4 clicks, he goes from a running shot energy explosion piece to a charge exploit piece. Not really, I think, Iron Man's vibe, but okay. And then he gets a special defense power called Energy Absorption. Combat reflex is impervious. When Iron Man uses impervious and succeeds, after resolutions, you get to heal him 2 clicks. Ian's cutting up, just dying over there.
I'm sorry.
Just dying. He does ignore hindering terrain for line of fire. Again, though, 100 points, no reduces pen. Just feel like his dial's going to get punched through, if I'm being honest. No protected outwit. He's not really that great of an attacker. He's just a tough 100 points. I think if in a casual setting, yeah, he's a thematic, pretty fun Iron Man. If you really want to dig like an Armor Wars storyline, fun gameplay. But he's not great.
No.
He's just not great.
Back to the drawing board. On to the cool Iron Man. This rocks. This is awesome. This is a lot of text, but I really like this. So Iron Man at 80 or 45. He's got the Avengers TA, Avengers, Stark Industries, Armor, and Scientist keywords. And all right, are you guys ready for this Unimind-esque experience? He's got cutting-edge upgrades free. Once per game, choose up to 3 characters on your sideline with the Stark Industries keyword and turn them to any click number. The chosen characters are Iron Man's prototypes. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose one of Iron Man's prototypes. Iron Man can use the standard powers displayed on that character's dial until you choose again. When Iron Man is KO'd, you may generate the last prototype he chose into the square Iron Man last occupied on its last non-KO click, then heal it 2 clicks. This game, that character isn't scored when KO'd. So to go back to Rare Iron Man, he could die, bring in the Prime, and then the Prime could potentially bring in one of these. So at least he's kind of like a Russian nesting doll. But then again, why don't you just play the Prime at that point? He also has Pulse Bolt, which is range. Make a range attack against a single target along a direct line of fire. Instead of normal damage, deal the hit target penetrating damage equal to the number of squares between them and Iron Man. See, now
that's so sick.
That's what Iron Man needs to do.
Again, really reminds me of the Silver Centurion Prime from the Invincible Iron Man
He
set.
rocked. Yeah,
He
okay.
had the torpedo thing.
There you go.
With, like, the straight line, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's fine that this guy has, like, 2 damage and a 12, but, like, dude, he has a 12 attack. Why can't we get the other one? He's 80 points. Again, I don't know, prime diff.
Prime
He just
diff.
gets the, he gets the big
diffed
minus.
hard.
He gets the big subtraction, I guess.
Now, something
Because he's a
interesting
prime,
about this
paying
guy
that
is,
prime
like,
cost.
yeah, you can build your sideline to, like, spec him with more powers with the Iron Man's prototypes. I have looked through the Stark Industries keyword selection. There's not a ton of Stark Industries, but there are a pretty good selection because you can turn them to any
Iron Man
click.
box set, right?
Yeah, like
That'd be the biggest one.
Ant-Man too.
Oh,
Has,
yeah.
like, Stark Industries. There's
Ant-Man.
stuff in this set that bumps him up. But also, I got to give a quick shout out to Miles Kane. I'm sure he'll talk about this on his show at some point. He has cooked up some real nasty teams with this guy and some really funny ways to make that pulse bolt trait go crazy. Like, insane. So, with his permission, I will talk about those teams if he does not.
Ooh.
So, I really like this guy. I'm excited to build with him. And yeah, the sculpt's fantastic as well. Again, just love the armor bias to it. I think this guy could have been a little worse, and I still would have been like, I'm going to play him.
Yeah. Cosmic Rider. Interesting. We've lost the ghost in his name. No more Cosmic Ghost.
Lost
Rider.
his energy drink sponsor.
Lost it, dude. Totally lost the energy drink sponsorship. I had 2 of those today. I freaking love Ghost Energy so much. Please sponsor Dial H Ghost Energy. I'm going to email you after this. Cosmic Rider here, no sponsorship included, even though he's looking like orange cream there in the skull.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Has the Guardian's
Tangerine
team
dream.
ability, and he has Mystic's ability, which is really good. I like to see that. I do think he's a little overcasted for 75, but I do think he's really cool. So, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Minions of Thanos, Assassin, Cosmic, Mystical, and Vehicle. He has a trait, Spirit of Vengeance. When he attacks an opposing character that took damage from Mystics since your last turn, he deals penetrating damage. If the friendly character that dealt Mystics damage also had this trait, Cosmic Rider increases damage dealt by +1 during that attack. This is the same Spirit of Vengeance trait that all the Ghost Riders have in the Ghost Rider Wheels of Vengeance set, so that's really cool. He also has Reap. When Cosmic Rider KOs an opposing character of 30 points or more, you score 10 victory points, just like that comment Thanos had, which again, really cool. And then he has a special attack power for his first 3 clicks. So his first 3 clicks are 9 hypersonic, 12 attack with the special, 17 defense, invincible, and 3 damage probability control. Again, he can be outwitted, so it's a little tough that he only has 6 clicks of life. He then goes on to a sidestep, pensai, toughness, and power clicks, which is like pretty okay. A little sidestep pen size, pretty good to 3 damage, not bad. And power's like, whatever, it's okay at that point in time. But his special attack power is Bones of Sidorak. When Cosmic Rider hits, choose a hit character until your next turn. That character has, when this character is given a move or power action, after resolutions, roll a d6 and deal them damage equal to the result. Really, really, really good that just anybody that's hit, he has 6 range, 1 target, so this is a 12 square reach at its furthest with hypersonic. This is really sick, like a great way to deal extra damage. So yeah, honestly, yeah, he can be kind of squishy, and he does feel a little overcosted again, because he can get punked right away.
If that defense was higher, I think I'd be more okay with this.
To see it, but I do love this special attack power. It's really
Sculpt
strong.
is sick.
Sculpt is sick. Definitely
like a reach for in casual play. Like, this is just a cool character. Like, I will play this figure for sure. But yeah, I think he's missing a little something.
Just a little something.
Oh, I love this next figure. Oh, man, I love this version of Groot. So this is, where the bias shines through. When I like a character, I give them more of a pass, unless they happen to be in a metal suit.
Fair enough.
Sometimes it's hard to do for those situations. Now, Groot is a Guardian of the Galaxy. He's a brute, cosmic, and monster. He's giant size, and he comes in at just 70 points. So this is a Guardian who's not getting a split line, which I think is like one of the first.
And it looks like he was supposed to kind of have one a little bit, but anyways,
just
he's
looks like
70 points.
Alternates powers.
Give it. I guess you're
maybe
right.
on click 5.
Yeah, he kind of goes 2, 2, 2, 2. No, he does. He just kind of goes 2 and 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2.
I could see it
on his defense to whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, it kind of looks like there might have been. But anyways,
yeah. So he's splintered for a trait. When Groot would be KO'd, you may instead replace him with a 004 Baby Groot on click number 3, so a little more sustain. Then, if 3 or more friendly characters have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, heal that Baby Groot 2 clicks, so it goes back to click 1. So effectively extending his dial, like 5 clicks, is a 13-click figure.
I like that a lot.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh. And if Baby Groot is KO'd, your opponent scores Groot's point value.
Right.
He also has charge, but don't have speed if 3 or more friendly characters have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword.
That's great.
So 8 squares, giant reach, some battle fury, super strength, pick something up, bash him with it.
Destroys blocking when he moves through
This is
That's
my
really
Groot.
good.
This is the Groot I want to see. None of the fancy shenanigans, just like, I'm a tree, I'm here to ball with my team. If you kill me, repop me.
Yeah.
He also just breaks blocking on movement, so
That's
100% plan on playing a Guardians team, and this is like the first person who's going on the team.
Yeah.
I really dig this figure. I think they nailed him. He also is unique, so no stacking multiples. And we'll switch up these next two. So Calder, you skip a figure, you talk about.
Nah, let me
I know you want to talk about him.
No,
so
I
we
gotta
can
talk.
switch.
I gotta talk about this guy. So 027 rare Winter Soldier. Absolutely love this piece. He's Avengers, Hydra, Thunderbolts, Assassin, Marksman's Past, Soldier and Spy. Ton of keywords. Give him the trick arrows. Give this bad boy the trick arrows. He has a couple of different abilities, but very much so he's, again, one of those split dial characters, one of those double agent characters. And he's very much the Winter Soldier on his top line, sniper rifle, stealthy, range combat expert, precision strike. And then you can tell on his first trait, once per game when a friendly character that's either 75 points or more or named Captain America is KO'd, after resolutions you may turn Winter Soldier to click 7. And on click number 7, he is a running shot. He's got a special attack power, invulnerability, and perplex. And then he goes on to some charge and power, some toughness, right? And that special attack power is ESD, ignores elevated terrain, and then Winter Soldier attacks with a single target and misses. After resolutions, you deal that character 1 penetrating damage. This to me is very much, and also his like special appearance as Captain America number 4, like when he became Captain America. So it's really cool. He goes from being the Winter Soldier, a sniper, assassin guy, to being Bucky Cap, which is really sick. I love seeing, again, that ESD on an attack power like what Falcon had. It's really cool to show that like the shield is a defensive, offensive weapon. And then yeah, he's like a running shot 19. Like this just rules. So very much different. Like he doesn't get leadership. I always think Bucky was kind of like, yeah, perplexed dude, leadership dude, pseudo-esque, filling in the Captain America role. But I've played this guy. I did play one team before we sent off our Collector's Trove stuff to Jax. And I really enjoyed playing this piece. He's really fun. You can just kind of get him in position as a sniper. And then eventually when a Captain America dies, there's 40.1s, there's 30.1s. You can turn him into this guy. And then he's like, I feel good about turning him into his Captain America line because he's a 19 ESD. Like, sure, he loses stealth, but now he's just like a 21 from range, and he has a better reducer. So I feel pretty good about switching that on an opponent's turn. Doesn't feel bad.
You know, another thing, if I'm not mistaken, the Rick Jones Chase, who got a legacy card, starts with a bystander named Captain America.
That's hilarious, actually.
So
oh my gosh.
Could suicidal Cap there,
and then
push him off a building.
Oh my gosh.
And here's Winter
so
Soldier.
dark.
Well, pull the building out from under him, excuse me.
Oh, there you go. That's so much better.
What happened to the building I was standing on?
Goodness.
It's just like that scene, dude, where he's fighting the guys in the elevator. He jumps out.
Jumps out of the elevator.
But in this situation,
then he
doesn't stick the landing.
Yeah, does not stick at all. No, I love this Winter Soldier. I love that he turns into Bucky Cap. We haven't gotten a Bucky Cap since 2013. It's been 12 years, so welcome back, Bucky Cap, in your own special way. It's really awesome. It's really thematic. I just love this
Can't wait to make him a Green Lantern. Have him copy that. Carry people around. Green Lantern Bucky, baby.
Green Lantern Bucky. Okay.
Why not?
Right. Yeah, sure. Why not? True. He is.
All right,
get that wild card.
Next up, actually behind, we did a little order swap, guys, for obvious reasons. We have Drax, who is also a Guardian. TA. He's got the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, Infinity Watch, Assassin, Brute, and
I
Monster.
wish there was another thing that told me that Drax is a Guardian. Oh, no, wait, never mind.
Oh, wait. So he does have a trait called Drax the Guardian.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah. I was so curious.
This trait is sick. This is awesome. In Power, when Drax uses it, other friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword are considered adjacent to him. Just global in Power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. I don't think it'll be particularly good, but playing 3 of these is something I want to do. And then a bunch of little 25-point Guardians could be hilarious. Just, I have 6 damage. How? Drax on the board. He also has a defense power, which has promised me it'll be worthwhile. Quill. Defend, invulnerability. Adjacent friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword can use Mastermind, but only to choose Drax. So he's a 19 defend at 75, and then at 50, he still has that defense power, but it's an 18. So you're probably using him more as like the Empower and then a bailout Mastermind piece. But yeah, top dial, 8, 11, 19, 3. Close combat expert charge, and that defense special. If you play him at 50, he's charge, blades, special, and then battle fury with 6, 11, 18, 3. I'm personally looking at him more at 50 possibly playing like 2 of them, but
I at least see the argument for this one at 75. He has higher speed, he has better attack
the 19
value,
defend is valuable for sure,
right? Like
you're probably not
all his
looking to
stats go
mastermind on that then. 'Cause
No.
you want to keep that.
Did any Guardian have support? I don't think so.
Oh,
Maybe someone in the holiday counter.
Cosmo
not one of
does in the holiday.
Okay, Cosmo. Okay, so like
You could keep
then
him
at the
up.
very least, I would mastermind him more if he was at 75, so I could keep him alive for longer. He's got more clicks I can mastermind too, right?
Yeah. The big thing here, though, is that Global Empower. He
I love
seems
it.
like a really fun pairing with potentially Kingpin. Again, playing those
Ooh,
low point. Kingpin
yeah.
Prime, if I have to establish
Shouldn't
that on
even-
this
shouldn't
show
even
at
have
this
to.
point. Old KP. KPP, Kingpin Prime. So, yeah, I like it. Global Empower seems like a lot of fun. And maybe you'll see him in a pulp match.
Next up, we have Giant Man. He is not Scott Lang. He is not Hank Pym. He is old Raz Malhotra, obviously. Agents of Atlas, Avengers, Ultimates, Detective, and Spy. He's got the Avengers team ability. He has Ant-Man Security Solutions, which that acronym is ASS.
Yeah.
Wild. Opposing characters in 4 squares can't pick up or equip terrain markers and can't be given close or ranged terrain actions. I think this trait is
That's
bonkers.
crazy. That's really good.
I just think, like, dude,
that
people,
plus King Jefferson sounds like a great time. No
Oh
flying, no
my
picking
gosh,
stuff up.
dude. It just feels like a total shutdown.
Better be
just
quaking.
turtle team. It feels so bad. I don't know. I don't love anything that like super promotes turtling. So this is kind of a wild trait. The old ASS trait.
Very good.
It is. It's really good. He is either 80 or 45. At 80, he gets his special defense power. At 45, he gets his special attack power to start off with. He is either 8 or 5 clicks of life. Also at 80, is a charged super strength piece versus his giant toss. So top dial, he is also just giant size. He would get defend invulnerability with a 19, which is pretty cool at 80. I think in sealed you definitely play him at 80. Or at 45 if you want a sidestep TK piece. That's right, TK. He has giant toss. Telekinesis, but only to target an adjacent character or terrain marker. When Giant Man uses it, the target doesn't need line of fire to the chosen square. This has been a fix for TK that I have wanted for so long. Why should you need to see where I want to throw you? That has never made sense to me personally for TK. If Professor X wants to be like, all right, Gene, go that way, Gene doesn't have to see the square that Professor
That
X is
requires
moving her
trust,
to.
though. Maybe the team doesn't trust each other.
I guess maybe not, but once again, dude, I've tried. I remember the first time, not the first time, but one of the first couple of times I played telekinesis, and I wanted to do this. They're like, oh, well, they can't see the square, and I'm like, why should that matter?
It used to not work like that.
Oh, okay. So
Way
then-
back in the day, you could literally just have the TK behind him and push him out 10 squares.
Man, I love. Well, that's wild. But
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I personally, this is
Shout
how
out Mandroid Armor
this is
for
how
all
I-
you old heads listening.
always thought TK should work. I've always figured that this is just the way TK should work, and I hope this is one of those cases where like they used to have like close combat expert, but can use it as close instead of power. I hope that this eventually just becomes what telekinesis is, because I like this so much more.
I'm fine with TK as is.
No,
I really am.
this has always made
It's a
more
really
sense
strong
to me.
power and having more limitations on it. That's fine.
No, this has always just
The
made,
triangle.
but like this just makes so much more sense.
But he's giant.
Yeah.
So if he picked them up, they could see where they're going.
Thematically, yeah, correct.
Your Honor,
I
send him to the sideline.
No,
Send him to the sideline.
I like this power. I want it to be
one
the
day.
normal TK. I love this so much more.
I rest my case.
Okay.
Your Honor, my client is simply a giant man who can see, pick people up,
Who's to
toss
say?
them. Who's to say what size he was at the time of the throw?
Who's to say what size he was at the time of throw? Objection, Your Honor. I feel like this has nothing to do with the TK case.
Sustained?
I'm not talking about Giant Man specifically. I'm talking about the use of his power.
And I'm bringing up that this makes sense and doesn't make sense for TK otherwise.
I think it absolutely makes sense for TK otherwise. Why should they need to see where they need to go? For what reason? Why?
Trust.
Okay. Talking about Grizzly. Trust.
But also, it's like if they're like behind a wall, like so Jean Grey, like Cyclops behind a wall, he's like, "Get me in there," you know. You don't think Cyclops wants to know what he's going into?
I've never cared
Also,
what anybody wants.
What's
I've always
her
wanted to just TK
extra?
them.
Does she have to like pull him out from behind the wall and then push him forward as opposed to like a diagonal
Oh,
line?
just move straight, I guess. But I
It
feel like
seems
they
like
can
more
just
work.
go this. I feel like the motion I'm making is like a scooping U-shaped motion.
Oh my gosh! Why did you put me here, Gene?
I feel. I don't know. I feel
Coming
like that
to
makes
Heroclix
sense.
2025, the
I've
trust
always
mechanic.
What? Oh my gosh. It's like how some games have like a morale mechanic, you know? Oh, I don't know if I really
Midnight
trust you,
Suns.
man.
You didn't bench press enough with blades, so you can't TK him. Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't watch Morbius' favorite movie. Yeah, I don't think he's going to let you.
Yeah, Nico Minoru's not feeling you right now. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, buddy.
Not going to happen.
Anyway, he's a man in a bear costume. We've got Grizzly. Or is it it's a man. Maxwell
Markham? Yeah, it's a man.
So he is Masters of Evil Team Ability and Sinister Syndicate. Masters of Evil, Sinister Syndicate, Thunderbolts, Animal, Detective, and Spy keyword. He also has Ant-Man Security Solutions, and then he has Grizzly's Here to Make You Suffer, Super Strength, Giant Reach 2, Close. Make a close attack. After resolutions, choose one. Give a hit character an action token, or place a hit character in a square adjacent to Grizzly, so he can flip you over, throw you behind him. He also has Combat Reflexes, Invuln. And this is a fantastic split line. 60 or 45, I could see a case for both. He actually starts the same on clicks 1 and click 3, which is where the split is at. That's 8, 11, 18, 3, charge, special, and power. But yeah, 15 points for 2 more clicks, especially in like a sealed environment. Potentially a pulp environment as well. This figure seems solid. Good sustain, good defensive capabilities, solid team abilities. Yeah. I don't know anything about Grizzly, but a good rare.
Yeah, literally do not know anything about this dude. But he is also part of Ant-Man Security Solutions, a.k.a. ASS. That is a wild acronym.
Sorry. I just realized what it was.
There's no way. I know.
Your Honor,
right?
I just realized what it was.
Isn't that crazy? That is the acronym of this. It has to have been played for a joke in the comics. That's insane. 030 in our super rares, we have Thor. He is Asgardian armor deity, mystical, and warrior.
In the coolest costume
like the first
ever.
figure we saw from this set, right? Something like that.
Yeah, we saw this at Gen Con.
Yeah, so he's got a trait called Hell's Curse. The first time Thor would be KO'd, instead you turn him to a starting click, protected pulse wave. This is pretty cool. He's either 50 or he's 150. So he's either 9 clicks or he's 4 clicks of life, which is, I mean, it's pretty cool. You've got to chew through 18 clicks of life, I guess. But also, no protected anything. You can see his cosmic energy, which is really cool, but he can get pen side or something through his dial. He's not a crazy amazing attacker, but he also gets Mjolnir, which we'll kind of get into. His second trait, a taste of the mighty Mjolnir. Close/range. Unequip an equipment from Thor and place it in a square within range and line of fire. If you do, make a close/ranged attack targeting all opposing characters adjacent to that equipment, regardless of range and line of fire or adjacency. If the equipment is named Mjolnir, Stormbreaker, or Yarnbjorn, the damage is dealt penetrating and hit characters are knocked back. But he does still just kind of throw it out there, and then he has to go and pick it up, which I'm not in love with.
Yeah, I wish it came back to
him.
I
wish it came back.
Or you had a chance for it to come back to you.
I feel like Mjolnir / all of these usually fly back to him. This is a really cool power. I really like it, except for the fact that they don't fly back to him.
Yeah.
It just kind of means I unequip Mjolnir.
Yeah,
and I lose it now.
Really don't want to do that because that's what gives this guy serious juice.
Otherwise he's you're going to love this, Ian, a running shot energy explosion piece. But with Mjolnir, then he is a giant reach 3, improved targeting ignores characters, Quake and Pulse Wave, which rocks. And at the very least, / what Mjolnir also does, if this character has one of Mjolnir's qualifying names, Mjolnir can't be unequipped, destroyed, or removed from the game by opposing effects. So at the very least, when you do throw out Mjolnir, your opponent doesn't just get a kill 20 points for free, which is super nice. The qualifying names also rock. Beta Ray Bill, Captain America, Odin, Spider-Man, Squirrel Girl, and Thor. So obviously, I don't know, somebody was like, what Spider-Man do you give it to? Butts to that, dude. So many good Captain Americas to give this thing to. I absolutely love it. Obviously, the Legacy card. And freaking Pegasus.
We're gonna have some Mjolnir stuff next week.
It just rules. I love Mjolnir. This store is like kind of iffy. It's cool. You gotta kill him twice. I think in sealed he's not dying. Probably just not dying sealed, which is kind of neat.
Thor should never have a printed 2 on his dial.
That is a little painful. Where's O's? Oh yeah, second 2
and
clicks.
Also,
that's tough.
like I don't inherently have a problem with running shot energy explosion. I do when it's 20 years of it on the same character.
Yeah, very much so.
That's
fair enough.
Fair enough. That's not my problem. But man, like
this Thor does seem
this dial
somehow.
Just looks like a 001 Thor.
Fair enough.
This just looks like a common dial. He doesn't hit particularly
I feel like
hard.
The guy could have had Impervious or Invincible.
Having like the whole basis of this figure existing in like this first trait of like I'm really hard to kill, and it's like, okay, if I don't kill you, realistically, what are you doing? If I deal 2 damage to you, you're 6'10", 18-2 with range combat expert.
Yeah,
What are
it's
you-
bad.
This is Thor? Like, I don't know,
The
man.
stats do seem
I
low.
love
I
this
agree.
costume, too.
It's a great
I want
costume.
to field a Thor in this costume so bad. But this Thor is just, I mean, honestly, like, I think I'll say this is, like, the most disappointing figure in the set for me. I really was, like, the sculpt, really hyped on that. And, yeah, I mean, there's just, this is really bland. There's nothing here. The trait, like the throwing the Mjolnir, is close.
It's really cool. I just wish it came back.
But even then, it's like you're attacking and you're dealing 2 damage, 3 damage.
Yeah, 2-3 damage.
And if you play him on his lower
Penetrating.
line, he's a charged super strength piece. Like, if you showed me this dial and you blanked out the figure, could you tell me this is Thor?
No.
No chance.
No.
And, you know, that might be like, applicable to other characters. But okay, like blank out. Yeah, like, okay. That's not like a fair test for everything.
Not super fair now.
But like for this next figure, I
could probably
tell you who this is.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying like you have to get it on that like nail on the head. You don't have to tell me it's exactly Thor, but could you get it in like the realm? It's like a 2 damage. I'd immediately write off.
Not in these
no
9
chance.
realms.
I'm sorry, it's a hater hour, but yeah,
That's a little tough. I feel like he'd be more fun to play than look at. I feel like if you try, you know what I mean? I feel like if you tried playing him, maybe you'd change your tune.
I don't think so.
No?
But this is a Thor that doesn't have like he has like a lot of sustain, but I just don't really care if he's on the map. And if it's half my build, like even casually, like
That is tough.
And at 50 points, it's like there's so many other charge pieces I could play that are more
like this at all
interesting.
for 50 points. This is just like
I like that his trait is at least a close or range, so he can like charge
you get a running
and throw
shot
it.
or charge into it. Which
Yeah,
is cool.
which you know. So yeah, it's like it's a good
That might be
idea
the
in
first time
theory.
we've seen close / rank as well, right?
But
It's
the
I've never seen that
dial,
before.
man, the dial just
It's bland.
there's
Looks
just
like an
there's
REB
nothing here
type
that's
dial.
talking to me. Anyway, let's go to a figure that is talking to me. Oh gosh, I love this. The Juggernaut is absolutely sweet. Like, oh my gosh. The Brotherhood of Mutants TA, Brotherhood of Mutants keyword, Thunderbolts, X-Men, Brute, Mystical. Incredible keyword selection. A lot to work with there. Primarily Mystical, but Brute with the new D&D longsword, getting that for free is always nice. You can
Oh,
also
true.
get his equipment
That's
for
hilarious.
free.
Yep.
And he's got I am the Juggernaut as a trait, which is Juggernaut can reduce penetrating damage, safeguard outwit. This guy's 80 points. Why can't Thor have that? We're done. Sorry. Ain't Nothing Can Beat Me is his move special, which is charge but don't have speed. And then he has I am going to hashtag $$ things up.
It's a weird thing for Juggernaut
These
to say.
millennials, these
Yeah,
Gen Z.
they just love their little, what do you call these little text cheats.
But he's got Giant Reach 2, close, make a close attack. After resolutions, deal 2 damage to each adjacent opposing character. If Juggernaut destroyed terrain this turn, the damage dealt is penetrating. Now, how could he do that? Well, he comes with the Crimson Gem, which is equipable to Colossus, Jugger-duck, or Juggernaut. It's got an effect, which is improved movement, destroy blocking, super strength, and safeguard mind control. It's 10 points. Otherwise, but free for our boy Juggernaut.
I do feel like it's weird that the gem gives him safeguard mind control, because it's the dome that gives him safeguard mind control, not the gem. But besides that, obviously that rocks.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Just thematic-wise,
but
that's kind of weird. But yeah, the Crimson Gem does give him like the improved like blocking and then super strength. That makes sense.
yeah.
But yeah, good equipment.
Oh,
Don't get
yeah,
me wrong.
100%. So 8 clicks of life, that full move charge, the ability to do extra damage to multiple people like very easily. 10, 12, 19, 4 for opening stats. And then, yeah, impervious for half the dial and invuln with reduced pen. Like, this guy's quite a bit to chew through. And honestly, the Brotherhood team ability comes up more than you'd think. Like, rolling a 10 and getting to remove an action token is fantastic. I know it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it's very
It's
nice.
nice, yeah.
So, yeah, this is just a Juggernaut that honestly plays like Juggernaut should.
Yeah.
He doesn't
I mean, yeah.
need any bells and whistles. He just needs to get up close, not die,
Nah,
and
he
hurt
should
some
just-
people along the
Juggernaut
way.
should just full speed charge, buzz through walls, and punch somebody. That's literally all I ever ask for Juggernaut to be able to do. I
So
dig it.
this is a piece that honestly I think is good enough to like crack into a competitive play.
I could see it.
It's certainly fringe. I mean, you guys will be hearing from me about this
80
piece.
is on the edge. He's competing with Colossus,
Yeah, but he's not a prime.
but he's not a prime.
And
True.
Mystical allows him to have Chthon. And another thing is, like, you don't necessarily need to give him the Crimson Gem. I know that allows him to break stuff, but there is a world where giving him, like, a possessor is pretty legitimate.
Fair enough. Next up, Jugger-duck. I love Howard the Duck. He is straight up one of my favorite Marvel characters, at least top, like, 5, easy. So, Jugger-duck here is Guardians of the Galaxy, animal, brute, detective, future, mystical, and politician. Again, always represent, gotta see detective and politician on Howard the Duck. I love to see it. He is the Guardians team ability. He is 200, 100, or 50 points. At 200 points and 100 points, he starts with Sidestep. We'll get into that later. He has a full dial of Quake. At 50 points, he starts with Flurry. Again, we'll get into that later. At the 200 through 100 point line, he has Perplex. The 50 point line, he has Battle Fury. At 200, he starts with Invincible. At 100, it's Impervious. At 50, Invulnerability. The little stair-step of damage reducers that we're kind of used to seeing on these heavier people. He has improved movement, elevated, and characters, which is something to know that Juggernaut did not have improved movement characters. Interesting. But Jugger-duck here does. He has a trait, Guardians from the Future. And of course, obviously, he gets the gem so he can have improved targeting, or improved movement, destroys blocking, super strength, all that jazz. Probability control, friendly characters with the future keyword have Guardians team ability. That's really sick. I love that. If 3 or more friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, Jugger-duck modifies his defense +1. So he's not really helping out the rest of the team, but he will help out himself, which is kind of nice. And then he has one more trait, Ducking Unstoppable. Oh, I love it. He's a duck's duck. I love to see the puns. Charge, so he's traded charge. So now keep that in mind.
Wait, did you say he's a duck's duck?
He's a duck's duck.
Yeah, he's a guy's guy.
He's a duck's duck, dude.
Yeah,
he's a duck's duck.
Sorry.
So this duck's ducking unstoppable, my mother ducker. Charge, when Jugger-duck uses it, he has safeguard, opposing probability control, and he can use close combat expert, specifically when he charges. So that's pretty cool. So he's usually a 11 for 4, 200 points, 10 for 4 at 100, or a 10 for 3 at 50. And now he's a, like, 12 for 5, 11 for 5, 11 for 4. Pretty cool when he charges. When Jugger-duck knocks back an opposing character, increase the number of squares they're knocked back by +3, and after resolutions, you may place Jugger-duck adjacent to that character, which is really cool. So he's just bashing them. So he always has Quake, or he can get, again, super strength if you give him the Crimson Gem Sidorak, which is really cool. And then he has a special defense power. On clicks 4 and 11, it is, of course, stop click. It is out of my wag. Stop / impervious when Jugger-duck uses it. Increase the d6 result by +1 for each adjacent opposing character, which works really well with Ducking Unstoppable. Maybe you knock them back into more characters or something, or you can place him around them if they didn't get knocked back and they're adjacent to other characters, because that stops knockback path to other people. Well, I guess you can't necessarily do that unless they're knocked back. But anyways, you know what I mean. You can place him potentially up to more opposing characters to increase his impervious roll, which is pretty dang cool on a stop click. No reduces pen necessarily, but it's really cool. But yeah, I like it. He gives himself charge. He has traded charge. He has traded probability control. He gives out Guardians. He has Guardians, which is super nice when you're rocking like an 18, you know. His attack value is on the low side, absolutely. But he's got Perplex. He's got the close combat expert, so he can be a 13 top dial or a 12 at that 100-point line. I like him. I think probably the 50-point line is where you go, where he's just got Flurry, and then he can just kind of be a cheaper attacker. But I really like Howard the Duck. I like alternate versions of Howard the Duck, so I'm probably going to play him at 200 and 150. I'm going to mix that around several times. I think he's really fun. I think he's really cool. I'm happy to have just like a beefy Howard the Duck. It's super fun.
Yeah, I think my mind immediately goes to play him at 50 for the Flurry. Now you might be thinking, oh, Ian, because you want to deal more damage. No. What I would like to do is get him across the map in position behind a character, knock them back 6 squares, place adjacent to him, knock him back 6 more squares, and then have a kill box waiting for whoever Jugger-duck. And then Jugger-duck is also very close to your sideline again. So having something hilarious. Like possibly Flash Raptor, drop him off at school, you know, bye Jugger-duck, have a good day at school, and then he beats the crap out of somebody back to your starting area, which you then, you know, there's probably some shenanigans that you can work there.
Animal just gets better and better.
But knocking something back 12 squares is awesome. And then now let's factor in Silver, give him the influence ring so you can knock him back an additional 4. We're talking about 16 squares of knockback, baby. If there's anything that gives Force Blast for free.
Yeah, that is a // so it's anytime he knocks back an opposing character, he adds +3 squares, so it doesn't have to be because of his charge. That's hilarious.
And then you could also, the next equipment, on this character that we're about to talk about. The Stormbreaker. So we're going to go over this first. It's 10 points. Close combat expert, knockback. Qualifying names are Beta Ray Bill, Odin, and Thor. There's also a // when this character knocks back any opposing characters. Any knockback damage dealt is penetrating. If you're knocking him back 6 squares, there's a good chance you're hitting him into something if you're positioning right. So that could be cool. It's also, just CCE and knockback for 10 points is just really good. The pen damage, a little cherry on top. But this is a figure, it's not my number one most excited piece because that's coming up later.
Right, of course.
But man, do I love this. Beta Ray Bill, another cosmic character I know nothing about. Love him. Just love seeing him in clicks.
He's My Little Pony Thor. He's a little horse Thor. That's all he is.
Don't ruin him for me.
That's how I've always been.
Your Honor, he's ruining the character for me. Send him to the sideline.
Is he anything more than just My Little Pony Thor?
Stop.
I don't know.
Oh, no. He's so much more. He's BRB, Beta Ray Bill. Be right back because we're not coming back to that.
Oh, man.
Ever again.
What's his elements of harmony?
Dude,
so the elements of harmony are these six. There are these 6 elements that the main 6. The main 6 being, of course,
hopefully you didn't care about the
Twilight
rest of the
Sparkle,
set.
Rarity, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy, and Pinkie Pie. And of course, they all have their own elements of harmony. That is like their friendship of magic. And I think Beta Ray Boy. I mean, like loyalty or something like that could really work for Beta Ray Bill. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I'd like to skip the trial and throw him in jail immediately. What people don't know is we decided to record in a
Beta Ray
courtroom
Brony
this time. Oh, stop. Stop this immediately. Annihilators, Asgardian, Guardians of the Galaxy, Robot, and Warrior keyword. He's got the Guardians TA. I say thee nay for a trait. When a friendly... And that's cool. Oh, gosh. There's going to be some words after this podcast. When a friendly character would be hit by an opposing character within range line of fire, you may remove an equipment equipped to Beta Ray Bill from the game. If you do, that friendly character evades the attack, and Beta Ray Bill deals the attacker 1 penetrating damage. I love this. I think it synergizes really well with what we just got in the Black Panther set, where you can keep equipping him with vibranium weapons so that you can keep activating that trait. Pair that with some one-shots in the set to maybe make him giant. Now he has line of fire to things. I think this piece could cause people a lot of problems defensively. And dial-wise, which we'll get into in a second, I also really like him. So he has an attack special which is Have At Thee. Friendly characters with the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword have knockback. That is sick. If 3 or more friendly characters have the Guardians of the Galaxy keyword, knockback damage dealt to opposing characters is penetrating. So it just gives the Guardians penetrating knockback. If I'm making a Guardians
really
team,
good.
100% this guy is on
really
it.
Good.
Honestly, I'm going to make other teams with him. Just no question. He also has I look at the heavens and think them empty.
That might just win flavor text of the year. That's really baller.
That is
I look
baller.
at the heavens and I think them empty. Dang.
Leadership.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily leadership.
Characters
the second part
can't use power cosmic.
That's sick.
He's denying them. But he's a 6'12", 19-4 at 100 points with hypersonic special, invincible special, 6 range. He's a flyer. Probably leaning more towards 60
I'm
personally.
on the 60 line, yeah.
Just charge special, impervious special. So you still get to keep the special powers. He still has the trait, obviously, and that's the big reason why I like him. And then, yeah, characters can't use power cosmic. Now, granted, you can just outwit that and get that back, but I feel like if you're going to outwit that, you might already be in a situation where maybe that's too late.
True.
Either way, he just has close combat expert from the free equipment if you go that route, so he's a 13-5, and then, knockback city for the whole team. That sounds like a lot of fun. And again, character just gets brownie points. This is a slam dunk piece in the set. Really dig Beta Ray Bill.
Next up, we have Ronin the Accuser. He comes with the universal weapon, a very simple yet just amazing equipment. At the beginning of your turn, you choose a standard attack power to use until your next turn. So it's just 10 points for choose an attack power. Really good. Tensai, Precision Strike.
Absurd.
Pulse Wave. Really freaking good. Very good. All sorts of great.
It's almost I would describe this as like a universal thing.
It's very,
for teams.
universally, yeah.
Yeah, universally very good.
Remote of sense. Like Click. So this is basically Adam Sandler Ronin the Accuser with the universal remote, universal weapon here. Annihilator's Kree Cosmic Ruler Soldier. He's 75 points or nothing. 1,000 years of Kree vengeance. At the beginning of the game, choose a keyword. Oh, this is the same thing as the other one. He modifies his attacking damage +1 when he attacks that character with the keyword.
Better
That's
Avengers,
cool.
TA.
Just better Avengers, yeah. That's only on like 2 Kree people in this set. That's pretty fun. He has a special defense power for his first 3 clicks, which is resolute and determined.
That's a click reference, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, totally.
Click reference? Yeah, I think it's a reference to click. yeah. Impervious, willpower, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When Ronin the Accuser uses willpower and succeeds, he can reduce penetrating damage to your next turn. This is kind of neat. I think it's really cool. This can just be outwitted, though, which is a bummer.
That hurts,
But that's a really cute way to do, like, oh, wow, if he's doing good, he's got willpower, he's super determined, he's got reduce his pen. That's pretty cute. I do like it. And then he has a damage power on his first 3 clicks, and then he picks it up on his very last click. Interesting. Leadership, outwit, brutal leader. When Ronin the Accuser uses outwit to target a character with the keyword chosen for the 1,000 Years of Kree Vengeance trait, after resolutions, you deal that character 1 damage.
I love
outwit
that.
your defense, ping you for a damage instantly. That rocks. So I really like this. It's really cool. He's a running shot, pulse wave. He's a 12 for 4 top dial. Then he goes on to some charge exploit, and he gets some sidestep down dial, or maybe he's sidestepping around, outwitting, which is kind of cute. So I like this Ronin.
This is a figure I'd play.
This
I
is like a
him.
figure that feels like 75 points. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
sure.
That's basically, it feels like one of the most like balanced point costed, just kind of fun figures I've seen in a minute. So I really like this Ronin. Again, I don't know. I feel like when they make Ronin,
Choosing precision
he's pretty
strike
cool.
with your pulse wave too to like get through stop is always nice. Like the
that is
universal
cool.
weapon's cool. He can be a TK if you want him to be. Like the
Also
universal weapon,
true.
just getting that for free is like all
I
right.
mean, there's universal uses for the
Yeah.
universal weapon. It's
So there's a
pretty
little
neat.
expression in the figure. I know he's a bit like point and click, but again, I think Ronin is cool.
I don't know. I think he's always cool when they make him. Ronin kind of
Just a
rocks.
cool dude. All right, Yandu. Now this is like one of the wildest dials, sans actual wild dials I've seen in the modern
Yeah.
era in a minute. But I also really like
Kinda
this figure
what's
as well.
going on here? I don't really know.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Ravagers, Brute, Cosmic, Mystical, Pirate, and Vehicle keywords. He's got Fweep as a trait, and that is free if Yandu is equipped with a Yaka arrow. Place the Yaka arrow marker adjacent to him. When Yandu uses the Yaka arrow's effect, he instead deals damage to each opposing character between the squares and destroys any blocking terrain between the squares. So if we take a look at the Yaka arrow to kind of figure this trait out here, he's got qualifying names, Kraiglin and Yandu. So Kraiglin, keep your eye on him. He could be something. But the effect for this is when the equipment is equipped, generate a Yaka arrow marker when this equipment is unequipped, remove the marker from the game. Free, place the Yaka arrow marker up to 4 squares away from its current square on a direct line of fire from its current square. Deal 1 penetrating damage to an opposing character on that direct line of fire between those squares. So he gets the benefit of destroying stuff and hitting multiple things. He also just has the ability to free recall it, like to bring it back to him, which is very nice. So you can just instantly reposition it. So he can get a lot of free penetrating damage off. And honestly, that gives the figure more value than I think people are realizing. Like free penetrating damage to multiple things that you choose like when to position. It's also a free action to move it. So you could carry Yandu up. Free place this arrow. Free move the arrow through 4 things. Boom. That's 4 free pen damage. That's to me, that seems pretty good. Now, Yandu is 60 points. He does have a defense ability as well, so this is his whole dial except the last click. You caught me. Energy Shield Deflection, Super Senses. When Yandu uses Super Senses and succeeds, after resolutions, give the attacker an action token. If you can't, deal them 1 penetrating damage instead. So Super Senses, ESD with a little bit of flair. He also has the Herald's Urn as a stop click, as a damage power on his last click, which is stop. Power. Choose another character within range and line of fire. If the chosen character is opposing, deal them 3 penetrating damage. Otherwise, heal that character 3 clicks, and this game they can use Power Cosmic. After resolutions, KO Yandu. This is a tougher power to get some value out of, but the fact that it's a stop on damage will make it a little safer.
Well, it's
And
really
then-
good because also he has Mastermind.
The Mastermind
so
fodder
the
is
odds
nice.
of like actually using it to pull off the power action is super cool. So I
It's
do like
reasonable.
that a lot. Keeps him alive. It's fun.
But yeah, he goes to this. He has leap climb for 1 click.
I
on
don't
click
get that
2.
at all. That's just like
It's so weird.
why?
Running shot mid dial. He alternates between outwit and prob. 60 points is a bit of a sell in today's game, But man, like, if Yandu stays alive for just a couple turns, like, there's potential to deal like 4 to 8 penetrating damage, like just moving the arrow around. And again, you can just reposition him, reposition the arrow goes off after that. It breaks through blocking, and if it's not on Yandu, you can just do it through walls. I don't know where I like rank this guy, but this is another figure that I think like is going to live on the fringe. I think he'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to find some uses for him.
Next up, we have Ant-Man here. What a cute, fun little dude. He also has that Ant-Man Security Solutions trait. This one is Scott Lang. He is Avengers and Wildcard with Avengers, Fantastic Four, Guardians of the Galaxy, Stark Industries, Animal, Detective, and Spy. He has a trait Pim Particles, free. Choose one to use until you choose again. Tiny and Sidestep, Standard, Empower, Shape Change, Giant, Close Combat Expert, Super Strength. Really good choices here. I like them. He is 60 points. He has Stealth for his first 4 clicks and Combat Reflexes for his first 3 and a Damage Power for his first 3. I'm gonna call him Antony. Love it. Hilarious. Leadership Outwit. When Ant-Man uses leadership and succeeds, that's right, he gets to generate the Swarm of Ants. If you aren't the first player, increase his leadership roll by +1, so it's 50-50 if you go second. Pretty dang cool to make all these Swarm of Ants. I love the idea of just ants, 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 ants. Super fun. He ignores characters for movement. He has a full dial of Precision Strike. On his last 3 clicks, he gains Super Senses and Outwit and loses that damage, power, and combat reflexes. I think a really fun, very much tiny-sized focused Ant-Man, but then whenever he needs to, he can go Close Combat Expert, Super Strength, Giant, but he has no movement unless he is tiny. Otherwise, he just has Stealth. So he's very much a little sidestepper guy to get around, and then when you get him into a decent spot, he can go big for a big old punch, or, you know, he can be kind of a
I like that it's
guy.
Free, and then it happens until you choose
again is so nice. Yeah,
so you can carry him up when he's tiny, go big, and hopefully do some big damage there.
So I think it's really fun. It's a cool way to do Pin Particles. I love making the ants. It's just like, again, a really solid, fun figure, and I like it.
Size manipulation, bystander, or not bystander generation,
cool
character
effect,
generation.
Yeah.
He's a wild card. Like, this checks a lot of boxes for me. I don't know where he fits in necessarily. This is like similar to Yandu in my head.
Oh, sure.
Where it's like, I don't really know where he goes, but where he goes, it'll be fun. He'll be a good one to play. Oh, baby.
This dude rocks.
Dude,
I love this dude.
This guy's the ultimate rock star of the super rare slots. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
Do I know anything about this guy? No.
He's Elsa Bloodstone's dad, and he's a jerk. That's all I know.
His dad her dad rocks. This guy,
he was a bad person, but this
figure
a
bad
rules.
person, and he's a bad man.
He's a bad man.
Ulysses Bloodstone at 60. I think Kalder and Iron is
this figure rocks, man.
Probably,
it's so fun.
Yeah. Probably the second most excited I am for a figure in this set.
I would agree.
Like him and Juggernaut and Beta Ray Bill are up there too, whatever. This guy, I've already built teams for it. Again, you guys will hear about this probably next week. And you actually already heard about it if you listen to, quick plug, another Heroclix podcast. So I was recording an episode with Alec, and I built a team with this guy. Nice. He's got Avengers, Martial Artist, Mystical, Past Soldier coming in at 60. He's a wild card. He's got a trait, which is the first Monster Hunter. Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Ulysses Bloodstone attacks one or more characters with the monster keyword, very prevalent, modify his attack and damage +1. When Ulysses Bloodstone KOs an opposing character with the monster keyword, score 10 victory points. So some stat bumps and some extra points. That's always nice. But the big thing, the big reason that's getting my gears turning is this next trait, which is Bloodstone Immortality. When Ulysses Bloodstone is dealt damage from an attack, roll a d6. 1 to 2, he takes damage normally. 3 through 5, he takes one unavoidable damage instead. And 6, you heal him 1 click instead. Ridiculous Regeneration is back.
Rules.
And there are ways to manipulate that dice roll in Modern that I think make him like super, super fun. Like, this guy's going to be hard to take off the board. He's only 5 clicks, but let's finish out his powers here first. Fighting off the hordes, charge, flurry, leap, climb. When Ulysses Bloodstone uses flurry and hits with both attacks, after resolutions, he may deal damage equal to his printed damage value to an opposing character within range and line of fire he hasn't damaged this turn. So potentially spitting out more damage on top of the charge flurry. And then as well, he gets a bloodstone for free, which is going to give him regeneration, and it also globally reduces the healing of all opposing characters by 1. So when an opposing character would heal, instead they heal 1 less. So heart-shaped herb, see ya, you're not even real anymore. And this is free. Maybe you want to give him a more baller equipment. Guess what? Play him with Prime Elsa. She can have it for free.
Yeah.
This is not a character where it's like I'm sold on the free equipment. The free equipment is very good, and the regeneration is what gets me going more.
I do like it.
Because he's going to be able to reduce so much damage with that bloodstone immortality. And you might be thinking, Ian, he might roll a 1 or a 2. Next week we'll talk more about how much fun you can have with this guy. But 60 points, 8, 11, 18, 3, the charge flurry ability, the precision strike, super senses, outwit. He sees through hindering, and he can shoot out of adjacency.
Yeah.
Dude.
Rocks.
When I first saw this guy, I was kind of like, all right, whatever. Because again, just don't know the character. But the more I've looked at him, I love this beast. Rules. I will 1,000% be playing Ulysses Bloodstone in some facet.
Absolutely.
And I think he is going to hold his own competitively. Whatever tournament Kalder goes to next, it'll be on his build, like 99% sure.
Oh, yeah. Dude's got my favorite 2 keywords, Avengers and Soldier. Oh, my favorite 3 keywords, excuse me, past Avengers and Soldier. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yes, dude rules. No, and also looking at his dial, just like from my own personal headcanon standpoint, traded blades, charge flurry, the down dial sidestep, energy explosion, RCE. To me, this is very an Ash Williams-y figure. To me, it's really cool. I like that he can shoot out of adjacency. Boom, hit him with a shotgun. He's got traded blades with the chainsaw. He's got flurry. He's tough to deal damage to. Ash kind of is stubborn to get rid of. Sticks around. And yeah, this piece just rocks. This piece is just so sick. So I really love this piece. I can't wait to play the heck out of him. And whatever Ian's cooking up, I'm eating. I just love this piece.
I've
literally so fun.
I've already made 4 teams with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. He checks every box. This guy hits. He stays alive. He affects the board. He affects very meta things reducing healing. Again, the bonus towards monsters, that's so good. This guy can hopefully take out Beetlejuice. Who knows? Maybe.
Let's see.
And just charge flurry and then deal more damage. I mean, throw trick arrows on this guy. Why not? Deal even more damage. His output is sick, and he will be annoying to deal with it. If you don't believe that, I'll show you.
Yeah?
I'll show you, listener.
Next up, we have our non-prime Namor. I believe this Namor comes with the Cosmic Cube.
He does.
The Cosmic Cube, ironically, it does not give to Namor. It has Red Skull and Thanos for qualifying names, and then qualifying keywords AIM. Cosmic Cube is one of those little spinner 4 sections on its dial or on its card. When equipped, place the Cosmic Cube in the circle on the back of the card, with the arrow indicator pointing to the effect of your choice. So free, roll a d6, turn the Cosmic Cube clockwise, number of effects equal to half the result. Until your next turn, the equipped character can use the listed effect. So again, you can only use it until your next turn, so you gotta kind of roll it every turn. But these are all pretty good. So free, place an adjacent character up to 4 squares away from their current square. That's really freaking good. Free, generate a blocking terrain marker or remove a non-Doree terrain marker within 4 squares. This is probably the weakest one, just getting rid of 1 blocking terrain marker or a non-Doree terrain marker. And then opposing characters within 4 squares can't use the effective equipment, really strong, or just straight up probability control. So all very solid. Probably that generate or remove a piece of terrain is the worst one, but even then that's not
just giving horrible. It to aim keyword. Let's go back to
our girl Monica Rappaccini. Yeah,
and all the goons that she'll generate. Yeah, potentially given that one of them that's
pretty cool
might help secure a kill. So
yeah,
potentially.
I've talked about this Namor during our unboxing video. I love him. He has improved movement, ignores elevated outdoor blocking, and can move past characters. So it basically gives him what Flight does, while also giving him the Dolphin team or the Dolphin speed symbol, which is cool. He has Atlantis, Invaders, Latveria, Ruler, and Warrior. He's a trait, Atlantean Physiology. If Namor occupies water terrain, he can reduce penetrating damage, and has, at the end of your turn, heal in 1 click, so that gives his impervious, his toughness, his invulnerability a lot more staying power when you want to be playing him in water, because he is Namor, he is a dolphin. The second trait is, That Fool Told Me All About Their Plan. When an opposing character within 4 squares hits or uses Perplex or Outwit, after resolutions, you roll a d6. On a 5 or 6, once per game, you turn Namor to click 7 and equip him with the Cosmic Cube from outside the game. So that's how he gets it. on click 7. So instead of being a charge super strength leadership piece, a very simple bruiser top dial for his first 5 clicks, his next 5 clicks, if he goes to click 7, he is a hypersonic speed impervious 12 for 5 damage, which is really solid. With a special attack power, he has the rest of these 5 clicks here, which is Bring the Ocean to Me. Quake super strength. When Namor destroys terrain, after resolutions, generate a water terrain marker in each square that the destroyed terrain last occupied. Pretty cool. I like it when, of course, Atlanteans can generate some form of water. But this feels like a really solid Invaders Namor to me. The last Black Panther Namor wasn't super Invaders-y. Kind of wasn't what I was looking for a Namor. And this is very much a little fun little trick Namor. I don't love the sculpt. This little hands out, holding the cosmic cube floating. I would like a more dynamic sculpt for Namor, especially on a super rare, but I really like the dial for a good Invaders Namor. I think it's really cool. The trait is a little harder to pull off, but he does go to an insanely beefy dial after that. Also, reducing penetrating means he might take a hit or two and then technically like heal by going to click 7 and get more value out of his dial that way as well, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
So yeah. And that's Namor.
That is Namor.
So anyway, here's Namor.
Yeah. Namor, this is Namor.
Oh, Namor.
Yeah, so Prime Namor here.
Namor.
Am I crazy in saying that this figure potentially has some like real legs to stand on? Like this figure looks nasty to deal with.
A chance, 100%.
Wild card. It's always tough when you're dealing with like the 200 point.
It's a lot. It's a lot to sink into.
It's a lot to ask
There's
for
so
these
many
days.
little guys that can really mess you up.
But he does a lot of things I like. He's got the Atlantis, Avengers, Defenders, Illuminati, Invaders, Ruler, and Warrior keyword. He's got Wear the Crown as a trait. Clear terrain on the lowest elevation level is water terrain. That seems like there's some pieces that can really take advantage of that. Friendly characters have Dolphin. If they already have Dolphin and occupy water terrain, lines of fire drawn to them by non-adjacent opposing characters are blocked. That also seems like very good. Like Mern, don't care. This is different. Protected Pulse Wave as well. Command the Seas as a trait. At the beginning of your turn, Namor may generate up to 2 Seablade bystanders. So you're just getting 2 of these guys. It's max 2. So if you don't have 1, or if they both die, like boom, here they're back. 6, 10, 18, 2 with exploit weakness, charge and blades, and they're also dolphin symbol themselves. I feel like these could be really annoying if you're on like an enclosed map. Like body blocking with them seems really solid. He also has an attack special, which is Hydrokinesis. When Namor makes a close attack, opposing characters within 4 squares occupying water terrain are considered adjacent to him. Doesn't need line of fire for this. Just pull up and bash you. And then he has Stop Invincible on clicks 4, 8, and 11 in the typical, what do we call them, fanboy dials?
It is kind of the fanboy dial. Yeah, little main character dial.
Now, like, the amount of utility this guy has, like, if you find ways to sustain him, again, at 200 points, it's a little more difficult. He also has improved movement, elevating outdoor blocking, and adjacency, so similar as the last Namor. It's interesting. This figure, I think, can output enough and be annoying enough to where you could wrench a decent amount of teams' plans. And then just looking at other figures, I've never really built around water, if I'm being honest.
No, neither have I.
It's a job for... like that's Miles again to reference. He's probably thought about this piece a bit more, but I do think there's something here that is particularly interesting. And does this figure come with the Serpent Crown? Is that how this works?
It does, yeah. It comes with the Serpent Crown.
Okay, well, we'll go over that very quickly. It's indestructible. Duh. Qualifying name, Namor. Qualifying keywords are Atlantis and Hyborian,
which again is not a keyword, but people are getting. I think it's like a. Apparently it's in Conan or some other thing. Some other Marvel comic technically used it. But like, yeah, the Hyborian? The Hyborian keyword is not a keyword.
Hyborian? Am I right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just have no clue what this is.
Yeah, zero clue.
But mind control, willpower. When this character uses mind control, a hit character may be given a close or range as free instead of making attack.
Really good.
That's, really solid. Willpower for 10 points is, I think, interesting enough. And then the mind control, situationally, I could see that being really good on some figures. I feel like this episode, all I've done is out myself. Is like, I guess I don't know a lot about just characters in general.
I really don't know what the Hyborian thing is totally from. I've just seen a little bit of it from online. Sure. But yeah, I don't know. This Namor is from a really cool comic. Like, he is king boss. He like floods an entire town in America, turns them all to Atlanteans.
The Hyborian Age?
Hyborian Age. Interesting.
A millennium after the Great Cataclysm.
Which is when? What does that mean? What does that mean?
A long time ago.
Anyways, yeah, been a hot minute.
13,000 BC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Just a little while ago. You know, just a handful of years.
Oh, yeah.
It is Conan?
Yeah,
it is
it's
Conan. Okay.
Conan Battle for the Serpent Crown.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
there we
if
go.
you're a Conan guy, maybe this gives you some hope.
It probably does. Yeah, I would say it definitely does.
So,
But, anyway.
There's Namor. I think...
I think he's really cool.
I think he's
I like him
sweet.
a lot.
I don't know if it's a figure I'll personally play. To be honest, I don't think it is. But if I sat across from it, I'd be scratching my head. Like,
I
how
would
do I
definitely
fully
play it.
deal with this?
Maybe it's not a job for an Aqua Miles. Maybe it's a Nesmore
Yeah, maybe
job. I can't.
Nesmore?
Nesmore?
Nemor?
Called her Nesmore instead of Aqua Miles. Called him Nesmore. Anyways. Chase Loki, which is the one we pulled. This guy's pretty sick.
Yeah, this guy rocks. I'm not booing that. I was booing you.
Oh, fair enough. which is fair, listener.
Yeah.
Loki is, of course, as Guardian. He has Warp World, Young Avengers, Cosmic D, and the Mystical. He is the Cosmic Energy team ability and Mystics team ability. Gems are God's best friend. During Force Construction, Loki costs 30 points for each gem token you give him. Minimum 1, maximum 6, so he's at least 30 points. Which is pretty fun. For each gem token given, you may add an Infinity Gem one-shot to your sideline without paying its cost. When Loki takes damage from an opposing effect, or knockback damage, after resolutions, you remove a gem token from him. When the last gem token is removed, you KO Loki. So again, unless you remove all the gem tokens, you don't score any points on this Loki. He is worth that many points of the gem tokens. You have to remove all of them to fully kill him to get all those points. You don't get 30 per gem removed. So something to keep in mind. His second trait is Still the Trickster. Gives him shape change super senses, safeguard poison, really good. So yeah,
like
the only
that.
way he's getting
good
damage.
addition.
Yeah. Also, that first trait is of course Practice Pulse Wave, which is nice. At the beginning of your turn for the second trait, roll a d6 and deal Loki that much unavoidable damage. So again, this does not remove a token. It just allows you to move him around his dial. He has these are the base ones here. They go for like 6 and 6. So it's phasing, TK, ESD, prob. He's an 8, 11, 18, 3 on all these. Flurry, blades, combat reflexes, exploit, mind control, pensai, ESD, outwit, hypersonic, precision strike, combat reflexes, perplex, and then sidestep, energy explosion, ESD, range combat expert, plasticity, poison, combat reflexes, close combat expert, and then it rotate. It resets again. But yeah, it's pretty simple. He's pretty cool. I like him. I think he's a lot of fun. We'll get into the Infinity Gem one shots, but keep in mind, like, you get to use those with each like 30 point cost. I think like 60 to 90 is really fun to play this guy in. If you want to go the full like 180, he's got to be hit 6 times before he's KO'd.
That sounds like a good time.
Really cool. I don't know. I think this is like really fun. I'm not a Loki guy. I don't really like Loki as a character at all.
Yeah,
but this is like a super fun piece. He has no KO clicks. He has all these like this wild dial stuff. He has shape change and super senses. So once again, unless you're pulse waving this dude for some knockback damage, you're not really removing a ton of tokens easily. And yeah, shape change super senses is super annoying. He's got mystics while you're dealing him all this damage. It's really cool. And then of course he can't be outwitted. So a lot of good staying power, a very unique dial design, and it's just really looks really fun. It just looks like a ton of fun to play. So I really like this Loki.
Yeah, I think, man. So the pros of him is that he's equipable. I really like that, like, because in addition to kind of turning your dial, manipulating the powers, it is random. I think giving him something that makes him a little more stable there. But at the same time, man, knockback damage can just erase this guy. Like that.
Maybe you shouldn't.
I wish he had,
because then Iron Man drones go bang, bang,
exactly.
bang, bang,
Did the drones have his number, man? So that like one thing, just knowing that like you can just bash this guy into a wall and it's like 30 points, 30 points, 30 points. I know you don't get them till the end, but you know, I think if he was like 20 or 25
when Loki takes
points
damage from an opposing effect or knockback damage after resolution, so let's say he takes damage from an attack and then gets knocked back, does he lose in 2 in one go?
No, it's after resolution.
Oh, okay.
So, well, no, because it's after resolutions. I don't think so.
You remove a gem token from him.
Yeah.
from an effect or an knockback damage after residence removed gem check. Okay, yeah, sure. Probably just one.
Probably just one, but either way, like that's just a bit of a bummer for me. I think this is something I'm going to try out at a minimum.
I think he's cool. I think he's really cool.
But yeah, playing him at the higher point cost, that doesn't particularly interest me. I mean, I like that he's equipable.
Yeah.
I like that you can give him Chthon.
Oh, yeah.
Mystical, just make him beefier. So I think there's some use cases for him, but it's tough. On to the next one, Mr. Deadpool. He's got Power Cosmic. He's got Deadpool Core, Weapon X, X-Force, Assassin, and Cosmic. Gauntlet-wielding Jokester is his first trait, which is the same thing. During Force Construction, you may add up to 3 Infinity Gem one-shots to your sideline without paying their cost. We're going to see that a bit here. And then when Deadpool rolls a 6 on a single D6 roll, after resolutions, you may turn a friendly face-down Infinity Gem one-shot face-up. So he has a little bit of a restore there. Destroying the Mad Titan is his attack ability, Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Deadpool uses it, if there are 2 or more face-down Infinity Gem one-shots on your sideline, he may instead roll 2d6 and choose one to be the result. Defense power, sacrificing a stone to save myself, is Stop Impervious. This shows up on his last click. Free, turn a friendly face-up one-shot face-down without using its effect. If you do, roll a d6 and heal Deadpool equal to the result. He's a 5-range double-target flyer, 8, 11, 19, 4 with running shot, precision strike, toughness, and prob. In his mid-dial, he goes to sidestep with that special blades power, toughness, prob, and he switches on to combat reflexes, perplex, ends on phasing in cap. I mean, this is a dial that doesn't agree with itself. Am I wrong in that?
It's all over the place.
And that's
it's kind of
he goes from like a ranged attacker to this
sidestep blades piece. I like his use of like getting rid of the like Infinity Gem one shots for different uses. I think that's really cute. But yeah, just weird power combos, man.
I look at this piece and I just think like I don't know what you're doing with it. You know, like toughness, you're probably not going to like stay on those mid dial clicks, and if you do, you don't have like charge to re-engage. You probably want to set up at range because he starts off as that running shot piece.
Yeah, he doesn't have any like ignores like shoot while based type of range stuff, so it's like
he doesn't have any improved targeting either.
No improved targeting at all.
Yeah, from I don't know. I don't think. Again, I don't think this is a piece that I'll reach for. It's a cool sculpt.
Doesn't feel like a great chase.
No, this one falls a bit flat for sure. And yeah, I mean, even like casually, I don't know what you're doing with this piece. Even if you're like getting off all his like abilities, I don't know. I don't see this one personally. Yeah. So Deadpool, sorry.
Next up, we have Thanos.
I see this man though.
Yeah, this dude rocks. This dude's really sick. He has, of course, Cosmic Energy, Black Order, Eternal, means Thanos, Cosmic Deity, Monster, Ruler, and Scientist. A trait, the Gauntlet, complete value is just like 300 points. Take it or leave it.
He's a brick.
He's awesome.
House.
During Force Construction, you may include up to 6 Infinity Gem one-shots to your sideline without paying their cost. When Thanos clears action tokens, you may turn a friendly face-down one-shot face-up. That's really cool. So every time he clears... Now, of course, you could just be lucky and keep, like, you never have to clear, which is also awesome. But when he clears, you got to use a gem again, which rules. He has a trait called the Thanos Quest. Thanos can use the powers printed on his previous clicks as noted on his character card.
Baby!
So, he is first 4 clicks. He has Running Shot, Energy Explosion, Invincible, and Prob. To be fair, at 300 points... These are really bad stats, top dial, but it ramps up insanely.
Don't care, yeah.
He's an 8, 11, 17, 3, top. Then, his next set of clicks, he has a Plasticity, Precision Strike, ESD, Outwit. Again, remember, he still has Running Shot, Energy Explosion, Invincible, Prop. That's gnarly. He goes on to pretty fast, some 12s, some 13s, 4, and like, on click 6, he just also has a 6 damage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which is wild.
So awesome.
And then he goes on some 5 damages. On his last 3 clicks, he has Force Blast, Steel Energy, Regeneration, and Shape Change. Again, if you want to heal further, you will technically lose those older powers. But he's a 13-20 for 6 on click 10, or a 14-20 for 6 on click 11.
Yeah, this rocks.
Dude is gnarly. Again, Steel energy, kind of weird because he just has running shot, right? Doesn't really have any technically close movement attack in his dial. I'm sure he's going to get base. But of course, he has shoot out of adjacency, which is what we like to see when they have close related powers and they're mostly running shot based. He also ignores hindering terrain and can shoot through blocking and destroy his own piece. He is 7 range, triple target, which means he has an 11 square reach top dial, and that just obviously goes higher from there. And he, of course, has the Reap trait, which we talked about when he KOs a character of 30 points or less, you score 10 victory points. This Thanos just kind of rules. He's a beefy Thanos.
Dude,
he keeps all these powers as you go forward.
Cool.
Very simple amount of powers, just 4 for each little block power set, so it's not an insane amount to remember.
He's to the point, man.
He rocks.
And yeah, the Thanos quest is, just awesome. Just you can use these.
Yeah.
Just keeps going. Yeah, 100% a Thanos I will play. Also, just love the look of him. Again, classic Thanos, man.
Simple Thanos.
Doing the comic book pose, baby.
Just holding the gauntlet. Like the Infinity Gauntlet cover, right?
Yeah. What issue is that?
I think it's just Infinity Gauntlet number 1.
Is it the number 1?
I think so, when he's just kind of holding it out.
I have
and then
the graphic novel
makes all the
of that
bars.
with
right?
that on
makes
the
all
front.
the lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay.
And he's just like the common, except this time he's gold. Ooh. So instead of being orange, he's gold.
He's
Ooh.
a gold man.
Yes, Thanos rocks.
100%. Yeah. If I'm getting any chases day 1, that's probably the day 1. And we're coming up on day 1 tomorrow. So there you go. If you're wondering when we're recording this. Next up is the Black Panther chase, and he's got the gauntlet again. We saw this in Battle World.
You got it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, no, I knew this one.
Whoa.
I knew this one. And so this guy's coming in at 125 or 50. He's Power Cosmic and the Black Panther TA. Avengers, Fantastic Four, Illuminati, Wakanda, Cosmic, Ruler, and Warrior for keywords. He's got Wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, which is the same thing of you get the 3 Infinity Gem one-shots as free. You add them to your sideline without paying your cost. They do still take up sideline spaces, though, which is... that's kind of interesting. We'll see. It's half your sideline in free gems, but there are teams where that's fine. He's got a special attack power, which is your reign is over, which is Force Blast, Pulse Wave. Personally love that power combo, just making your Pulse Wave deal 2. We saw that with Scott Porter.
Yeah.
Considerably cheaper than this figure, point-wise, but
Quite a bit.
Rocks. And his defense power is, and it ends with us. Stop, Impervious, Super Senses. The first time this click is revealed, for the rest of the game, Black Panther has once per turn, you may re-roll one of his single D6 rolls. Which, love that. That's really solid.
Really solid, yeah. Super Senses, Blades, Shape Change, Impervious.
He's got all the single die rolls.
Willpower, Breakaway.
One thing, he does fall short. He's a 4 range with dual target, which is a bit, but he's a Pulse Wave piece, so you probably want to do that anyway.
4, yeah.
So he gets his stop click on click 5. His split line starts at 6. He's either 125 or 50. And he's an 8, 12, 19, 4 on that top dial with running shot, the special, invincible, and prob. If you're looking at the lower line, he's 6, 11, 18, 3 with hypersonic, blades, impervious, and then shape change. The click before it with his stop click, so he has impervious, super senses, and shape change, and he gets to re-roll. I'm not saying 125 points, like this guy is going to be, oh my gosh, like incredible competitively, but it's also stop clicks, you can't pulse wave it. Having 4 chances, potentially, to evade an attack, that is a crazy stop click. And then another thing is, like with stuff like the heart-shaped herb, like healing him off of this doesn't seem particularly difficult.
Ooh.
I don't think this guy is going to like be, throwing his weight around at like top tables or anything, but it is a figure I think I'll probably experiment a bit with. And the Wakanda keyword is becoming more and more appealing to me. There's a lot of like really fun mechanics that you can kind of exploit or
there's a lot to it.
Abuse. So
I think it's fun. I don't think you're I don't think I'm ever playing this dude at 50.
I don't want to play him at 50. I want to play him at 125.
Feels bad. And I think it's like at 125 is definitely more of like a kind of casual, fun, got some cool tricks kind of piece.
Mm-hmm. Just honestly a piece that it's like, all right, I want to frustrate you.
Yeah. Scarlet Witch here is clocking in at 70 points or 30 points. She has Avengers, Brotherhood of Mutants, Midnight Suns, Mystical, and Ruler with the Mystics team ability. Her first trait is Reading the Pages of Madness. During forced constructions, you may add up to 3 Darkhold one-shots to your sideline without paying their cost. These one-shots don't count against your sideline limit. If you do, You can't otherwise add one-shots to your sideline during force construction. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's a little bit more limited than the other gauntlet one-shots we've seen. If she is 70 points, the first time Scarlet Witch would be KO'd. Instead, you turn her to click number 5. Remove all action tokens from her. And this game, she can use Cosmic Energy and Protected Pulse Wave. Oh, sorry, this ability has Protected Pulse Wave. Excuse me. So, her first 3 clicks for 30 points that you always get for 30 points is Sidestep, Special Attack Power, ESD, and Probability Control. And then on click 5 through 7, she has Running Shot, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Invincible, and Shape Change. She's an 8, 13, 19, 5 on click 5. Or on click 1, she's a 6, 11, 18, 3 with 4 range, triple target. Her special attack power on her first 3 clicks are the Bands of Belasco. I'm sure that's exactly how that's meant to be pronounced. Pulse Wave. When Scarlet Witch uses it, you may choose that all hit opposing characters gain immobile until your next turn instead of normal damage. So instead of dealing them any damage, they just all gain immobile. Kind of interesting. She's kind of this weird supporty piece. Or if you pay an extra 40 points, she then goes this kind of insane running shot Pensai piece. But again, only 3 clicks of life. A little scary. I think there's some pretty big risk and reward with this Scarlet Witch, so it's kind of up to you. But she's fun. I think for 30 points, a sidestep probability control piece that adds a bunch of these Darkhold one-shots for free is pretty good. So
yeah, I think that's
pretty solid.
Really solid, yeah. I dig it. Another fun piece to give Chthon to, make her a 14 for 6.
Also true.
But yeah, 30 points, you get a lot of utility there. The 70-point line is... yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Next up, though, is Dr. Doom, who's also reading from the pages of the Darkhold. And he comes in at a whopping 225 or 75, so an interesting split here. He's got the Minions of Doom and the Mystics team ability. He's got Cabal, Latveria, Armor, Mystical, Ruler, Scientist, and Warrior for keywords. Unparalleled Ego as a trait, which gives him Leadership Mastermind. That's awesome. When Dr. Doom uses Mastermind, friendly characters within 4 squares that have the Doom team ability are considered adjacent to him. If we learned anything from Legacy Apocalypse, it's that range Mastermind is fantastic. He also has a //. At the beginning of your turn, Dr. Doom may generate a Doombot bystander. So there is your Mastermind fodder. Again, if we learned anything from Legacy APOC, hey, making your own Mastermind fodder is also pretty dang good. He then has Reading the Pages of Madness as a trait, which is the same as Scarlet Witch's, so you get those 3 free one-shots. It doesn't go against your sideline limit, but you can't otherwise add one-shots to your force. So, no rivalry, I guess. He's got Fighting Chthon's Hordes on clicks 4 and 10. This is his defense special, which is Stop Impervious. Dr. Doom can reduce penetrating damage. So reduce pen impervious with Mastermind, yeah, that's pretty solid defensively. He also has Reading through the Darkhold through a Doombot. So this guy's doing a little online learning.
Yeah.
He's got Outwit, Probability Control. If a friendly one-shot was used this turn, Dr. Doom may count range and draw lines of fire from a friendly character named Doombot. Yeah, that's fantastic, especially when you look at the Doombots themselves, which are 6, 10, 18, 2, Sidestep, Energy Explosion, Invulnerability, and Range Combat Expert. 4 range,
Lights.
They're flyers as well. Yeah, a very solid bystander. Now, 225 and 75, this is interesting. Like, 225, my gosh. He's also unique, so no multiples here. He's an 8, 12, 19, 4 with that damage special with Psychic Blast. So ideally, you're looking to keep him in your starting area, move those Doombots up, flip a one-shot, and then blast people through that. I think I'm never touching him at 225.
Yeah, it's not happening.
That's just so many points. But at 75, Sidestep, Energy Explosion, and then the Invulnerability, and also the damage special. He only has that for the 1 click, but you can certainly get value from it. Clicks, so click 6, the only thing that changes, he gets Prob. 7 to 9, he turns to a Charge, Steal Energy, still Invuln, and Close Combat Expert. And then on his last click, he's Phasing, Pulse Wave, and Prob. I love Dr. Doom. So obviously, going to buy this piece regardless. But man, there is a lot of cool tech that you can do when you can draw a line of fire from stuff. Range Mastermind is such a pain to deal with. The conventional ways of throwing Elevated under somebody to remove their adjacency, that just isn't going to matter to him. So I really dig this piece. I think there's a lot of potential for him to do some cool stuff. I just don't know quite what that cool stuff is. Immediately, my mind goes to something like trick arrows, like trick arrowing somebody through a doom. Now, that's a trick. That's a trick arrow right there.
Yeah.
Doombot was holding it the whole time. A trick bot? A bot trick arrow? A Doombot trick arrow? It wasn't the real trick arrow all along?
Yeah, totally.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm throwing down?
Yeah.
So yeah, Dr. Doom. I'd love to see him, as always. Put him in every set, please. And we'll see what he turns out to be. I'm interested to see what players do with his damage special.
Yeah. Next up, we got Doctor Strange. He is 100 or 40 points. Avengers, Defenders, Midnight Suns, and Mystical with the Defenders and Mystics team ability. He has a trait, Mastering the Pages of Madness. During Force Construction, you may add up to 3 Darkhold one-shots to your sideline without paying their cost. These one-shots don't count against your sideline limit. That's really cool. If you do, you can't otherwise add one-shots to your sideline during Force Construction. If Doctor Strange was dealt damage by a one-shot this turn, he has free Make an Attack, which is pretty dang good. Shields of Seraphim, ESD, Invincible, Protected Outwit for his first 3 clicks of life, which is going to be his 100-point line. And then for his first 4 clicks of life, which is going to be from his 100 bleeding into his 40-point line, he has Communing with the Darkhold. Probability control, when an opposing character within range uses Outwit or Perplex, you may turn a friendly face-down Darkhold one-shot face up. So, that's pretty cool. So if an opposing character is outwitting you, perplexing you, you can go ahead and reuse those Darkhold one-shots, which is pretty neat. At his 100-point line, he is a running shot, 6, 12, pulse wave, 18 defense, 4 damage with those specials like I talked about. And then on his 40-point line, he loses that really nice special defense, that Invincible, Protected Outwit, all that fun. And he's just a running shot, energy explosion, ESD piece with that special damage power. And then for his next 3 clicks, he stays that energy explosion with ESD. Then he just gains regular prob and some sidestep down dial. A very simple figure. He's got a few tricks. I'm not in love with an extra 60 points for that top line. So this is, again, kind of a very lackluster chase. He's like, okay, he's all right, I guess. If at 40 points you just want to play him, I think that's pretty much the sweet spot for him here. You want to use him for the free Darkhold stuff. You get the free Make an Attack.
Yeah, some copyable
and you
defenders.
Get that little prop.
If that could be something. Yeah, reasonable keywords to work with. Mystical, again, always good. But yeah, I agree with you in the lackluster department. Agatha comes in at 70. She's fantastic for Mystical and Past. She's got Reading the Pages of Madness, which we have gone over a couple times at this point. Free Darkhold, one-shots. Ooh, baby, but you can't add them otherwise. She also has And Who Was Behind It All as a trait, which gives her shape change. At the beginning of your turn, Agatha may generate an illusion marker into a square within range and line of fire. She has 4 range with dual targets, and that is a max of 3. She also has free, place Agatha into a square within 6 squares with an illusion marker. If you do, heal her 1 click, then remove that illusion marker from the game. Her damage special, which she has on her first 2 clicks, is Sentry's Old Magic, Outwit, Perplex, Probability Control. When Agatha uses them, she may count squares for range and line of fire from an illusion marker. So yeah, you get some extended reach on your utility. You don't necessarily have to risk Agatha in order to use those powers. Teen Lantern was a favorite of mine, being able to drop barrier and prob through it. So placing these markers and having access to all those powers from just like a square that, you know, is effectively like 8 away, potentially like 10 away, seems really solid to me. 70 points is a bit steep for a sidestep, precision strike, and then she super senses shape change. With that slew of powers, she clicks onto some running shot pulse wave, goes back to the sidestep precision strike, and on clicks 3, 4, and 5, where she KOs on 6, she goes from prob to outwit to perplex. So if you can keep this figure safe, I think you'll get value out of her every turn. I just don't know if that's going to quite equate to the 70 point value, because that's. Ah, man, support powers are just so cheap. For Degaton's 20 points.
Yeah,
in this economy. Killer. But yeah, I think she's fun. Being able to swap around places, hypermobile, some sidestep on top of that. Maybe there's an equipment you can give her to make her a little nastier, make her hit a bit harder. You know, something there. So, yeah, Agatha, I dig her.
Yeah.
But, 70 is just... Oh, if she was like 50 or 55, man, yeah, I'm sold.
60.
60 even potentially.
Just not quite 70.
Is just
70 is just tough.
It's a little bit too much.
It's tough for 5 clicks. I don't know, Ian. This figure's okay.
He's
like, all right, I guess.
We could probably just skip him, honestly.
I think
he's okay.
Just what are these one-shots do? We've been talking about him all episode. Let's just get into him.
Oh, the Ultra Chase Collector is
Let it rip.
so sick.
Dude's huge.
Oh, he's so
Yoked
sick.
out of his mind. The Chthon half-body sculpt thing coming back rocks.
I love it. I know some people are like, I want the full figure. No, I think I prefer
kind of
this.
like the menacing,
It's so cool to have such, big,
Do you
menacing
remember,
figure.
what's it called? Superman and Legion of Superheroes? I thought the Giants just kind of looked goofy.
They do.
Real long.
And they're just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
You get some,
and I
some more
think this
power
guy
in this.
gets to have like a wider sculpt versus just feeling all long. This giant. So I don't know. I like this more. I think it's
Emphasize how jacked,
It's just,
how powerful this dude is. But yeah, Collector coming in at 200 points. When I was in a Heroclix slump, when we saw this, instantly revived. Wow, like immediately building with this guy. I think this guy is... You're going to be hearing about him a lot. Is he the next Kingpin Prime? Probably not, but close to. Been building a ton. Like next week...
In the way that Ian won't stop building with him. Not in the way that he's anything like Kingpin Prime.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Just
to
really...
clear things up for the listener.
Oh, man, just... He does it all for me. So we'll get into what he does.
He's cool.
Elders of the Universe, Cosmic Deity, Scientist, Power Cosmic. You guys have heard about him in other places probably at this point, but you're going to hear about him here too. The rarest artifacts in existence, the Collector may have any number of equipment equipped at the same time. During Force construction, the Collector may be assigned up to 3 equipment with a total point cost of up to 30 points without paying for them. So, just 3 equipment, totaling out to 30. Amazing. Opposing effects can't unequip, destroy, or remove equipment equipped to the Collector from the game. Wow, I love that protection. Knowing that, little Iron Man sentry can't just pop over and pop something off me. Yeah, that's nice. Nobody dares oppose the Collector is his second trait, which is free. Give a collection token to an opposing character. Power, make an attack. Instead of normal damage, choose a hit character. If that character has at least 1 collection token for each 30 points of its point value, KO them. Instead of removing them from the game, turn them to any click and place them on the Collector's card. The Collector can use the standard powers displayed on that click this game. So this guy is stacking tokens. That's a global effect. You don't need line of fire, range, anything. It's just I'm picking a character. Here's your collection token. For each one of those that you have, up to 30 points. So if you had like an 80-point figure like, I don't know, Colossus Prime, who is such a pain to remove from the board, you put 3 tokens on him. That's worth 90 points. It's above 80. I hit him once. I'm taking his equipment. I'm taking him. I'm taking his powers. Break into your house. Steal all your gold.
Taking his Lamborghini. Impounding it.
His Lamborghini's gone. It's mine. That's what this guy is doing. So yeah, when the Collector KOs an opposing character, after resolutions, he equips any equipment that was equipped to that character. So he just hijacks a figure off the board. Wow. I love that so much. He's got stop clicks on 4, 7, and 11 on his 11-click dial, which is at the cost of my life's work, stop, but only the first time this click is revealed. Invulnerability super senses, / free, destroy an equipment equipped to the Collector. If you do, roll a d6 and heal the Collector equal to half the result. So a little bit of sustain. It is stop, but only the first time. But there's ways to heal him. You got 100 points to work with. There's ways to do it. A more presentable form is his damage special, which appears throughout his dial. He's got probability control and shape change. Man. So no attack powers on the dial except for 4, 7, and 11, where his stop clicks are, where he goes to a Force Blast Pulse Wave. Love that power combo.
Yeah.
In between that, again, just blank attack power. So something like, I don't know, a Universal Weapon
We
sounds great.
We did talk about some of the best things to give him, and I think Universal Weapon kind of stays.
As it stands, Bucky's arm, Universal Weapon, and Motorcycles where I'm leaning gives him charge with +2 movement, super senses, pick any attack power, and then CCE. The super senses from Bucky's arm doesn't matter because he already has it. But yeah, people are like, well, why Bucky's arm? It's like he can quickly become a 13 for 5 with a 6 square charge and a 3 square giant reach. Also, I don't really care about dealing damage with this guy. My goal with him is to keep him alive so that I can delete key you.
Those tokens off,
So the rest of my force is just going to be annoying stuff that you want to have to deal with. If not, they can run away with the game. Things like Reverse Flash. Could be a great bodyguard for him. But yeah, this guy... I don't know how I don't play this piece like way too much. Improves targeting on hindering as well.
Crazy fun, yeah.
Yeah, Collector is the hallmark of the set. This is an Ultra Chase, baby. This is like worthy of the Ultra Chase tag. I could go on and on about him, but you guys are going to hear about him in future episodes. So we'll cut it there because it's getting late.
It is indeed getting late. We're going to rip through the one-shots here. I don't know, 1 out of 10 scale.
Sounds
Mind
good to
gem.
me.
When opposing characters hit after resolutions, you may choose a power that character can use. That character can't use that power until your next turn for 10 points. Like 5 out of 10. It's right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, at 10 points,
that's
man,
tough,
I'm not paying 10 points for
tough
this.
sell.
5 out of 10. It's a good effect, not 10 points.
It is good.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I'll do the next one.
Or I can just rip.
When a friendly character attacks and the attack roll is 10 or higher, you may have that attack become a critical hit. 10 points. It's like a 2 out of 10.
Yeah,
dude.
nah.
For 10 points?
It's tough. That's kind of how all these
free?
gems.
For free. Okay, if we factor in, if you're playing a chase that makes them free,
that rocks.
these are so much better.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about them isolated, like, are you going to play these? 10 points?
No.
Ugh, gosh.
And again, with one-shots, guys, they're face up. You pay their cost to use their effect, and your opponent instantly scores that cost. So that's huge.
10
huge,
points.
huge. Yeah.
This is as much as Universal Weapon?
Wild.
This is twice as much as a Bucky's arm?
Bucky's arm?
Are you kidding me?
Reality Gem, when an opposing effect would generate 1 or more squares of terrain, you roll a d6. You may roll a d6. 1 through 3, after resolutions, remove up to 2 generated squares of terrain from the game. 4 through 6, you choose the squares the terrain is generated in for 10 points. This is kind of like, again, middle of the road, like 5 for me. If it's free, it's pretty awesome. Messing with terrain.
If it's free, it's amazing.
So they don't get a barrier in. That's really good.
If it's free, amazing. At 10
already,
points, like 3 out of 10.
Yeah, just I don't want to do that for 10 points.
No chance. Soul Gem, when an opposing character is KO'd after resolutions, you may heal a friendly character 2 clicks.
Like a 1.
More reasonable, I think. Like, healing is good on certain builds, but yeah, 10 points. Again.
It's like a 1 or 2.
No.
For free, great.
For free, 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Free healing is amazing.
Space Gem, when an opposing character is hit with a close attack, you may immediately place them to 4 squares from their current square. They're still hit by the attack.
For free, again, fantastic.
Yeah, for free
10
fantastic.
points.
Like 4.
No.
Yeah, I don't really want to ever use that, I guess. Time Gem.
Yeah, let's hit it.
When an opposing character clears, you may remove an action token from a friendly character. Never, ever going to use this.
At 10?
Ever for 10 points.
How? In what
Wild.
world am I paying 10 points to
Wild.
remove a token?
An action token.
What?
Nuts.
Sorry, for free. That even for
not
free,
great for free. Does not feel good for free either.
Like, oh gosh. Okay, Soul Siphon. Now these get a lot better. The Darkhold one shots are so much better. Free. So this is effect. Friendly characters can use regeneration as free. When they do, for each click healed, deal another friendly character 1 unavoidable damage, 5 points. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's really good.
Just every friendly characters, you could heal up the whole squad, KO a bunch of bystanders. Yes, sir. Fantastic 5 points, and even better, free.
Yeah. Diabolical Bargain. At the beginning of your turn, you may deal a friendly character 1 unavoidable damage. If you do, remove an action token from that character. This can, again, you can
probably not paying 5 for it.
You can activate people. So this is like a fringe.
True.
This is like a fringe use, right? To deal someone 1 unavoidable damage. Not necessarily to like push them to then get a token off, which I guess is also a use. If it was just that use, I would say like 4 or 5 out of 10 for 5 points. But to use it to activate somebody, this could be a turnkey for some games, for some teams.
Yeah. Self-damage you can never underlook. Okay, I agree with your analysis. Evil Entwinement. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character and an opposing character within 4 squares of that character. If you do, until your next turn, when either of those characters move, after resolutions, deal that character 2 unavoidable damage. Situational, but I like it. On the right build, absolutely would pay points for this. For free? Sure.
Yeah. Occult Retribution effect. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose a friendly character and an opposing character within 4 squares of each other. Deal both characters 1 penetrating damage. This one you have a little bit of control over. It is at the beginning of your turn, so it's got to kind of be mid-game at some point. Mm-hmm. But you might have a character with Invincible, so maybe you take no damage. You might have your more control of your healing. This could also just be used to ping and just kill an opposing character, which is super nice. For 5 points, I don't think you can underlook it. It's just a free 1 damage. Pretty solid.
Can't underlook free damage. Agree. To me, my hammer, when a friendly equipment is unequipped, after resolutions, you may equip it to a friendly character that is not equipped. If a friendly equipment would be removed from the game, you may choose that it isn't. If you do, after resolutions, you may equip it to a friendly character. 10 points.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, no thanks.
Just no.
I'm good.
Like, I'm betting on that my opponent is going to unequip me, and
Yeah.
then I go, haha, here's 10 points, I'll take that back. Probably the cost of the equipment.
Yeah.
That's 10 points.
And I guess there's like 20 point, 15 point equipment and stuff, but like...
You're betting on getting your
It's-
motorcycle
it's
stolen?
Yeah.
Dude, no.
Yeah, I don't know if I love including that. Pin particles, nuts. Friendly characters have free. Choose tiny or giant. This character is the chosen size and modifies their defense +1 to the end of your next turn. The fact that all friendly characters in your force...
It's not. It's only
Oh,
one.
it's not. Oh, never
it's
mind.
only
Oh,
one
that's-
friendly character,
okay.
but it's still
not
so
as good, but it's really still really good though. The fact that someone just gets tiny and +1 defense, they have +2 defense from range, or giant, extra 2 square reach and +1 defense, I think is a really good trade off, even if it is just one person. Really solid.
From what I read, now I'd have to double check, but I believe it is only one.
Okay.
But even then, yeah, I
Curiouser
still like
and
it.
curiouser. Shield throw, I'm also going to talk about this one because Captain
Yeah,
America.
sweet.
Equipped friendly characters have range, triple target, make a ranged attack with a minimum range of 4. Instead of normal damage, each hit character is dealt 3. That freaking rocks that everybody that's equipped just has like range triple target, and then each character gets dealt 3 damage. That rules. It's only 5 points for a triple target, 3 damage to each person. That's really sick. I really dig it. It's like throwing Captain America's shield. I think that's really
There's
fun.
so many pieces that can take advantage of this.
Oh, it's so good.
Buff up their damage. Yeah, incredible one shot. I must have it. I don't know if I need to have this one. When a friendly character hits and the finalized attack roll was 9 or more, so here's a situation. After resolutions, you may choose an equipment equipped to the hit target, so they also have to be equipped. If you do, remove that equipment from the game. If the friendly character is named the collector, he can use the removed equipment's effect this game. I mean, this isn't a gem, and it's also not a Darkhold one-shot. If you could get this for free, I think it'd be a consideration, but 5 points for, like, situationally removing equipment, again, I don't, like, unless your team, like, somehow really functions on removing equipment, but that just doesn't exist, like, it's too situational, too specific. Yeah.
Rivalry. Oh boy, what could this do? When a friendly character attacks a single target that shares a keyword with them, you may choose to not roll the attack roll. If you do, the attack roll becomes a hit. How is this 5 points? How is this in the game? This is so insanely good. This is like 10 out of 10. This is like 20 out of 10.
This
broken
is like
game element.
This is like ban this. Just
Pretty
like
much-
don't even let this exist.
Yeah, pretty much ban this immediately. You're telling me that I just have a guaranteed hit. That's the most common thing I do every game is roll dice to attack. That's like a fundamental of the game. And now you're saying I just don't have to do that. But oh, Calder, they have to share a keyword. Yeah, a lot of the same good stuff shares a keyword with the other good stuff. So, like, I just get to nuke your good stuff right away first. It's a coin flip now of who goes first to just automatically hit. I don't like that. Don't take the dice out of Heroclix.
And it also
please.
removes like Mastermind and Super Senses.
Oh yeah, it just becomes hit. Yeah,
this is like a power eraser. It's an auto hit. It enables like there's nothing worse than just getting wiped immediately in HeroClix. This like assures that
instant. Yeah, allows it.
Yeah,
Nuts.
There's been a lot of statements over the years of this piece makes Modern, their point value minus 300. Modern is dang near 295 Modern at this point. I don't know why you don't play this.
Literally no reason not to.
I hate to be the person to like call it out or whatever.
It's a bit of a bummer.
I don't think it's particularly controversial, but I don't think anyone would be too bothered if they said like, we're just banning this. We're sorry. We messed up.
Yeah.
It gets banned. I don't think anyone's going to be too upset. So, Rivalry. I've got a rivalry with Rivalry. Next up, Fortify. Effect. When a friendly character would take 4 or more damage after reducers, you may have them take 1 damage instead.
This is really good.
I actually dig that
really
a lot.
Good. I like it too. Yeah, a little once
There's
per
your
game,
counter.
Sure.
There's your counter to
rivalry, I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
oh wow.
Yeah, that's old Rivalry.
It really is something else.
So the one shots as a whole, I'd give Rivalry out of 10.
Yeah, fair enough.
But seriously, like how? Okay, if Rivalry exists in the same set at 5 points, how were the gems costed at 10?
I know it does. All of the gems do just truly feel overcosted. Like they should all be like 5 points instead. Like a lot of the rest of these one shots,
even when they're free, there's still a sideline
Some
slot.
of them are rough for free.
So, man, I love the gems. I've always loved them in HeroClix. I think they've always been really fun. But man, like if you wanted to play all the gems, that'd be 60 points.
Insane.
And that gives you like a handful of conditional effects. I know you don't probably never want to do that.
No, you're really never going to. It's pretty much like, yep, I get half of these for free or all of these for free.
But even
I'm playing with
casually,
somebody else.
I don't know.
I don't want to waste that many points of my casual build on
breaking your leg before you get on the basketball court.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to ball like that.
I'm not going to
man.
ball
You're
out.
not going to ball.
Not with this.
So yeah, one shots. The Darkhold one's fantastic. I think idealistically, like they are conceptually very cool. I enjoy them, but man, the variance in what they do and what they cost just makes me scratch my head a bit.
Fair.
So excited to try them out, but there's a few that
I'm curious to see. Ooh. Yeah, I don't want to totally call and say like, I don't know if I like these or if I really like these until I really try them out in a bunch of games.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of like, oh, these feel too ID cardy for me, where they're like that instant score. This effect happens. It could either be too strong or too weak. I don't really know. And so there's kind of a mix of both. Kind of curious to see if it just feels like, oh, so-and-so has X. I'm just going to remove rivalry from the occasion. But if so-and-so has like this one one-shot card, do I just feel like, the game is butts now? I don't know. We'll kind of see. I feel like you kind of have to play around with it because some are really fun and thematic. Some are just really strong.
Yeah.
Outside of rivalry being in the equation, I'm really willing to give one-shots a shot.
Yeah, man. Exclude rivalry. I like them.
I am curious to see how they work. Yeah, and like again, if like the Infinity Gems are like overcosted on purpose to be just good, I guess with the chases. Sure, I guess. Don't love that necessarily, but sure, I guess.
I mean, half of those, if they're costed at $5, I'm still looking at them.
Yeah, they're still
I
just
don't
like
think
what
so,
in the
buddy.
world? I'm just not in love with the effects.
Really, in a world where you're getting equipment at the same cost, a permanent effect for a figure, there's nothing like King Killmonger out right now that says like there's a drawback for playing this.
Has to be.
Why are you not just putting more equipment on your team?
It just has to be like really strong. If it's going to be 10 points,
sideline space is
rivalry should have been 10 points, 15 points or something. Dude. You know, like something nuts.
Rivalry shouldn't exist.
Should not exist. Really quickly, I'm not going to get into legacy cards. I love the choices for all the characters they chose, but I don't like the designs for 2, and that's about it. So, obviously, I love Iron Man. I think it's a really cool reference to how he used to play. I love Captain America. That's biased. It's an endgame reference. It rules. I designed it. Thank you. Also, Matt Reed designed it, and so did Spencer White. We want it for Fellowship for Heroclix Chronicles. It rocked. Molecule Man. I was scared, and now he's just kind of a cool, fun, neat piece, actually. I think that's pretty neat. Yeah. Nick Fury, I was scared. He's actually just a cool, fun, neat piece. I think that's really cool. Collector, a really fun thing. Machine Smith and Captain Marvel, why? Why did you make them the same thing, but somehow worse? Well, Captain Marvel's the same thing, but worse. Machine Smith is just disappointing and not as cool as he used to be, which is a bummer.
Yeah.
So besides those two, I like all the character choices, but then those two just fell really flat. But I do love Iron Man. I do love Captain America. Molecule Man is really fun. Nick Fury is super unique. You somehow took a figure that gave me nightmares that I would pray would get rotated as soon as possible or banned outright. And now you've made it like kind of fun. And now it's no longer mentally scarring to see really that piece on the board, which
interested
is cool.
in playing him. I like what they did because he still calls back to the older version.
Yeah.
But Captain Marvel is the same figure, but worse.
Literally the exact same figure. The same point lines, but worse.
Like
it's been 5 years. She came out in February of 2020. That was 5 years ago. And she's the exact same points.
Yeah.
But worse.
Same points with, like reduced effectiveness of powers.
Again, not to get too negative, because again, I love Iron Man. I love Captain America. I love that Nick Fury. She's the exact same points.
Yeah, this is
but worse. 5 years later.
Oh man, it's
5 years later.
It's crazy. It's crazy that if you look at this piece in Silver Age, it's like I think I'll just
rather play the original version.
You should just clip in your review of Captain Marvel and CAAV for this one and be like, "This is what it could have been." Like, honestly, if you just reprinted the card, like, that would have been better than what this is. And that's insane to say. But
it is
there you
wild.
Go. But no, I also agree. Legacy selection's fantastic.
This is probably my favorite Legacy selection for a set in a long time. Easily my favorite.
Batman Team Up was the last, really
I would agree.
good one.
I would say Batman Team Up was my last favorite Legacy card selection. This one just had... These are great figures. These are iconic figures in their own right. Molecule Man, Captain Marvel, Nick Fury,
Menaces,
and then that Iron Man. Those were all super iconic figures. And then, obviously... Mine's Matt and Spencer's pick.
He kind of sucked.
Railroaded in. He was not great, but then he's a really cool. But they brought our vision to life. He's this really cool end game reference.
Oh, he's a lot better now,
which I love, and he's a ton of fun to play. Versus this weird throw the hammer Quake effect, and then if you have a Captain America on the sideline, you can bring him in or whatever the weird what if trait. And this one's just way cooler. I don't know. It's just straight up end game. This rocks. And then Molecule Man, again, a super iconic figure in his own way. And
notorious figure, really.
Gave him a different way to be good, which is nice than just the insane terrain generation that he used to be.
I'm really glad that Molecule Man didn't come back in the same way Captain Marvel did.
Yes, I agree.
Where he does the same thing but worse, because what he did was...
already so stupid and insane.
Oh, it was so frustrating.
So crazy good.
It was a figure I felt like I had to play. But
now it feels like I can play this dude at his top line, which is really cool. I was never going to play him as top line before.
I want to, honestly.
And now it's I really want to, because it's benefits from playing him at top.
Dive into him.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, molecular control. Terrain markers don't hinder or block line of fire drawn by Molecule Man. So he sees through all terrain markers. Really cool. Second trait, molecular rearrangement. Molecule Man can reduce penetrating damage. Again, more useful for his top line, where he has invulnerability and toughness. That's really cool. When Molecule Man hits multiple characters instead of normal damage, he may deal each hit character damage equal to his printed damage value. Again, better at his top line, because he had 8 range triple target Pensai, 3 damage at top, which never got used before. So this once again says, hey, use him at his top line. And then // if Molecule Man is 75 points, aka his top line, he may take the same free action up to twice a turn, which is his outwit that he has, and then on 3 and 4, his perplex.
Sidestep.
And also, ooh!
Yeah, no,
that's so good.
I really get down with old Molecule Man. Double sidestep, throw him a running shot or a hypersonic.
Dang.
Yeah. Seems like fun.
Yeah. That actually really rocks. So I love this piece. It's wow. He used to only be good at his lower line. No one ever paid attention to his top line. He still does something.
Now I don't even care about his lower line, honestly.
I know. And that's kind of good. When I was literally so sick of seeing this dude play it at low. Now I have a reason to play him at his top line. That rules. So A++, no notes.
You got
Loved it. You got it. Ton of fun. We're not going to go into any of the rest of them. It's super late. It is almost 2 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, but we got this set review out for you, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know some of your favorite figures from Collector's Trove.
Well, before we close out...
okay, go ahead.
A total, score for the set overall. This is a set that got a bit of controversy for being smaller.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't mind it a ton. Knowing that when I buy a brick, I have the full CUR, a slew of super rares, and then a chase, I'm okay with that. And then we've seen some brick distributions that have an ultra chase, Gauntlet. A chase, 3 super rares, and a prime in it. And then, there's the God packs as well. Sure, any blind product you can get burned on, but I think there's pretty good odds in this. I haven't seen a complete dud brick yet. Maybe it's out there. We'll see. Release is coming up here soon. The super rares for me are 10 out of 10. I want to play a lot of them, and I think a lot of them have a lot of legs to stand on. Probably 9 out of 10 for one character that I just do not like.
Fair enough.
The themes in the set I really enjoy. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely going to be something that I try to make work in pulp. Groot and Drax seem like a really good pairing. The Ant-Man security solution stuff I find interesting as well. That seems like it could actually be very modern viable. Again, legacy cards, 10 out of 10. Boom.
Love legacy selection. Absolutely love the legacy selection.
Chases are...
The chases are all pretty underwhelming, if I'm being honest. Besides a handful of the Gauntlet ones, I don't love a lot of the Darkhold ones. Doom at 75 is really strong. Outside of that, I think the strongest stuff in the set is the Ultra Chase and then all the super rares. I think the super rares are some of the strongest super rares
carrying the set
we've had in a long time. I love both super rare primes. I'm a big fan of both of them. I guess, heck, it's only the one rare prime, right? So I guess I like all of the primes in the set. I think they're all really good. They're really neat. All the super rares are very solid in their own right, besides, again, 1 or 2 where I'm just kind of not really my style, not for me.
Yeah.
But so many of them are really strong. The chases don't feel great. like we kind of said, the super rares are awesome. And
I mean, Scarlet Witch is good. Loki is interesting.
She is good.
I
Loki
love
is cool.
Thanos. I will always love Doctor Doom.
I guess maybe it is more so than not, but it's like not in love with like Doctor Strange or Agatha or what's his face, Deadpool, and not really in love with Black Panther either, if I'm being super honest. I guess it's like 50-50 on the chases. I do think that Loki will be a ton of fun. I think that Thanos is going to be a ton of fun. So yeah, it's like 50-50. You can't win them all with chases. That's kind of, honestly, I guess that's kind of true for most chase themes. I'm kind of 50-50 on most of them, if I'm being honest. So that's nothing.
But
out of
some
the ordinary.
sets they definitely carry harder.
I don't know. This set is
when you have super rares that are good and also come with equipment, the chases matter less. I think you'll still get some value out of your chases.
Wonder Woman all over again. Yeah. Except the chases also rocked in Wonder Woman, so never mind.
Yeah, Wonder Woman 80 is like, the same way people talk about like, the summer of 2016. I don't know why that's like a meme.
Is that a thing?
I see it a good amount.
Maybe
it's
summer
just
of 2016?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently some like great music came out around then, and everyone was partying, whatever. This is probably specific to like my age group, but I see like memes about that. It's like, oh, people just won't understand. Like in the same way, like summer is 69. Like people talk about.
So like that one I've heard of. That's because like
that's a song.
Yeah, it's a song. That's easy.
But the point of that is like that's what Wonder Woman 80's vibe is. I don't know if you're able. The whole point of it is like, are you able to recapture that? The answer is probably no.
Sure.
Like Wonder Woman 80. I don't know if any set has recaptured,
I think my best
even
summer
value-wise.
was 2019. I think I really liked summer 2019. That was pretty good.
COVID?
2019?
Or wait, is that a year later? 2020?
Yeah, 2020 was COVID. 2019 was like Endgame. And
oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, 2019 was an awesome summer.
Either way, yeah.
Anyways, but yes, I don't know. I feel like Collector's Trove is a pretty solid, above average set for me. I don't think it's as low as like Black Panther would be for me, so I'd say this is like a 7.5.
I think that's pretty fair.
Middle, high, middle.
I think 7.5 is about where I'm hitting.
You knock my socks off, but just like a solid set.
But when you have equipment, it's
got
like
rares I want to build around.
You could super add like potentially like a +1 to that score.
I would say so.
Like equipment just can carry a set. I really like the
equipment
super
has so much more life than almost anything else in the set because it can be used with so many more things. Like, I'm going to get endless enjoyment out of Mjolnir, throwing that on different Captain Americas, throwing it on Squirrel Girl for funsies. Like, that's going to be a ton of fun. Especially since they just keep delving more into the qualifying name and qualifying keyword. That adds so much more life to equipment.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a ton of fun.
If there's any uncosted element that's really working for the game, that one that I get down with, it's equipment based on specific characters. Like seeing marksman keyword and just being like trick arrows, like that's great.
Yeah.
I got no problem with that. I think if you're going to keep doing uncosted things, that's the best way to do it so far.
I agree.
So yeah, I'll agree with you on. I think 7.5 for Collector's Trove is a pretty fair assessment. Super rares and legacy cards are just so good. CUR has really stuff good. I like in it, which is always a plus.
Good generics. That's what's huge for me.
But there's a lot of stuff I don't particularly care about either.
I love the Iron Man Sentry, and I dig the Kree.
And the chases, man.
Swarm of Ants.
Because it's even with the chases I like in this set, Sans Collector, because he's the man.
Well, obviously.
I'm not looking at any of those chases and like itching to get it on the board. Dr. Doom would be like the maybe.
I'm definitely itching the most for like Ulysses Bloodstone. Out of everything, it's like Ulysses is like my favorite thing. I love this guy so much.
Ulysses, Beta Ray Build, Juggernaut.
Those are your top. I'm like Ulysses, Jugger-duck, Winter Soldier are probably my top figures in this set. Yeah.
That's fair. Also, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm excited to try to make Yandu work too. I think Yandu's got some crazy potential. It's so funny.
He is pretty neat.
Because, Kong's 50 points. He can deal free pen to Kong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff he can deal penetrating damage to. Colossus will be a nightmare for him, though. And if you invest 60 points into this and you play against Colossus, you're probably
cooked.
You're hurting a little bit.
Yeah, ouch.
Either way, I think that's a fair assessment of the set. I'm looking forward to it. I think to add more clarity to that metric as well, like one-shots experimentally, love them. Already said
Curious
that.
to see what they do, yeah.
But or man, the execution of them is questionable, and that's, I think, docking some points for me too.
Mostly just point value-wise, yeah.
Yeah. There's one bystander in the set?
It's the only one we've seen from a chase booster so far, Charlie 27.
Oh.
From Scott Porter's chase booster.
Oh, that's right.
That's hilarious, though, is the old sculpt from Galactic Guardians.
So, yeah.
Anyways.
That's everything, guys.
Fun stuff. Let us know what you thought of Collector's Trove. If you've played any pre-releases, sealed, etc., let us know any of your favorite characters. What are characters that you agree with Ian and I on that we really like? What are characters you disagree with us on?
Did we hate too much?
I think it was fair. But if you disagree,
Iron Man
let
got
us
kicked
know.
a lot. Sorry.
I mean, dude, you can't look at me and tell me that's a good dial, though.
No, you can't.
You really can't.
No one.
I
can
like
look at
Iron
you.
Man as a character. I like
love
Iron
him.
Man. He's cool.
I love that costume.
That's not a good dial.
No.
Anyway, let us know your favorite parts.
Back to the drawing board
of Collector's Trove, guys. If you want to support everything we do here on Dial H, you can go to patreon.com/Dial H podcast. Support us there for as little as $5 a month to get access to our Discord, which is a happening, popping place where a lot of Marvel Rivals gets played, which is pretty dang fun. Well, not as much for this guy anymore, but for me, I'm having a blast.
I'm taking a sabbatical.
Sometimes you got it when you go as hard in the paint as old Ian does. I'm just, I'm eating nuts and kicking butts in quick match. That's where
I play to win.
That's where I'm having fun. I'm having a blast in bronze myself versus squandering and
I'm inching towards diamond. I got
diamond.
one game away, and then I went on a 7-game loss streak. I was duo queuing with a buddy, and it was just.
They thought we weren't going to talk about Rivals this podcast.
Man, Chase and I were literally just so deflated.
Silly, goofy.
It was, dude.
Tube of toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, like when you got that tube of toothpaste you haven't thrown away yet, there's just nothing in there. I was like that. That was me.
Yeah.
And every game, dude, it was crazy too.
Just squeezed out.
We had games where we were like popping off, and then like one mistake or something, something dumb would happen. We'd be like, all right, we lose. And like when you start to get to those higher ranks, it's like people punish you so much harder. Like playing as Thor, you hammer dash to the wrong spot, you just die instantly. Like
that is tough, yeah.
And it's like, okay, using your support ults at the right time is like huge. Like, man. And then another thing too is like there's a wild variance in who you're playing against because some people probably haven't taken the time to climb yet. So there's people with
Knowledge for Heroclix is brought to you by
Grandmaster
CoolStuffInc.com. You can go to CoolStuffInc.com, get all your cool latest Heroclix singles and steel products.
And they body you.
Use code DIAL5 for 5% off your Cool Stuff Inc. order. You can go to shop.wizkids.com, buying Heroclix that are in stock, that are not
playing for
promos
a while.
or iconics or pre-orders. Use code DIALH10, DIALH10
back all
for
in
10%
on
off
Heroclix.
Your Heroclix order.
The other superhero game made me sad.
I've been your host, Kalder Ness, for all of your Heroclix podcasts,
I'm in a good
unboxings,
space now, though.
And more.
Doing better.
Make sure you dial H, and like always, happy trails.
Hey, you want to play Marvel Rivals, Calder?
Sure.